Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday again, and it's episode 90. Crikey! And as usual, here he is, Delboy. He's
Oh,
here.
thought you were
Welcome.
going to say Benny Hill. Then here he is, the man himself, Benny Hill.
Well, I can't see you running around after ladies chasing you and all that.
That ain't going to happen.
Anyhow, I say welcome as usual, and I always say, you know the score. We say it every week is what have you been watching, and also has anything come, anything you want to talk about that you've watched.
I'd like to say I've watched an awful lot, but I tell you what, I don't get this, and or maybe I should say I do get it. Is that when I finish with my mum, and you know that I'll have to go and look after my mum very shortly, but I'll be back. There's on ITV they show films, and they're just repeats and repeats and repeats. They're showing this week the Rambo films
again.
You showed these about 5 weeks ago, and then you did the Rocky ones, and then you did the Taken films, and you're just doing it on rotation. It's like, are you going to start doing a new set that I could start watching? Because I tell you, I must have watched now Rocky and all of the films that make up Rocky. I must have watched these now 5 times in the last 3-4 months. It's a bit ridiculous, but I watch those because it's ease. It's just I finish, I sit down, and it's my time before I go to bed. I've got an hour left, and I can watch something at the foot of my bed while I'm in bed, and I can start watching it on the big TV, and then I'll go over and finish it off with the small TV. But it's the same stuff over and over again, so it cuts down what you watch. To be quite honest, which means that I'm going to do a bit of a actually. You showed off what you watched, but not necessarily did you watch it on physical media. Well, I take it that's what you were getting at.
Yeah.
So I'll do the same sort of thing. I watched.
That's good. Yeah. Oh, do you want?
So I watched these.
I'll talk about it now. You did send me a download of Pluribus episode.
Yeah, Pluribus. Yeah.
And have you watched it?
Yes, I told you I'd already seen the first episode. I'm now
really,
up to episode. I'm up to episode 4 or something.
Yeah, I'll talk about it then when I come on. But yeah, thank you for sending
so this week I watched Old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have seen N. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, I think it's a good one. That one,
quite a good one.
I like that one.
I quite like that one. It's on a beach. They get up, and all that sort of stuff. The Old Naked Gun, because I needed cheering up.
So well, why not? Yeah,
an absolute classic. The Deer Hunter.
Oh,
I love the Deer Hunter.
It's one of my. I'd say I put that as one of my all-time favorite films. Not just Vietnam.
It's not only is that a very powerful film.
It's just great.
Very powerful film. It's coming back out of war. That sort of stuff. It's got a very powerful, well-recognized music score.
Yeah,
which I think most people know the Deer Hunter.
That's right.
Theme. So that's really good, and it brings to mind what I've been saying before, which is how music fits into films, and I think that the Deer Hunter is a perfect example. Of how music can move you in a certain way, even though it's in a totally different direction of something.
Yeah.
We've got some thingy in there. We get rid of that.
Have you got rid of it?
Yeah, no, it's all right.
Is it gone?
Yeah.
All right.
It's one of those things where I just turn around and just go, I love film for all sorts of different reasons: the visuals, the storyline, the feeling of engrossing yourself in a story. When I went to the cinema I just turned round and the lights went down and I felt I'm by myself. It didn't matter that there was somebody sitting next to me or whatever it was. Some of the times that you go into the cinema now, you're the only person there, which is a sad state of affairs. But when I went in and the lights went down and all you see is a huge screen, it's so easy to get engrossed. And I think that's probably why sometimes we don't go to the cinema now, because screens are getting so big in our houses.
It's a good point.
That when you put the lights down, you virtually got the same sort of experience, especially if you've got a surround sound amp.
Yeah.
You're basically engulfing. And I think that's probably, where I think years and years ago, cinema was scared that the TV would take a lot of its, base away.
Yeah.
And yet it actually probably took 30 years for that actually to happen, really, because I don't think anybody with a CRT screen, 32-inch or something, was going to be under fire from a 70-foot screen, right? But when you're sitting in front of a 65-inch, 55-inch, and all of that sort of screen, and depending on how far away from you can almost recreate that experience. You can go and make popcorn on the cooker, come back, and you can put a disc in, like a 4K disc, and you can see things on the screen in a sort of a way. The thing that I always loved about going to the cinema was coming out and talking about it afterwards with friends. If you went to the cinema with friends, you won't reinvent that on a sofa with several people, because I'll tell you what, there'll be someone that will say, "Oh, pause it, will you, while I go to the bog or something," right? Can't do that in a cinema.
No.
So that's a downside, But during my computer days, I used to go around friends and we used to play games together. Even if it wasn't a 2-player game, it would be taking turns and see if we could beat each other's score. It's the same sort of thing when I was going to the cinema, but more probably adult orientated, because we'd be talking about adult themes, like, "Oh, that rape scene was bad," or "Oh, that was pretty gross or shock inducing." How this person was killed or whatever it is. But the thing about it is that it started conversations, and and then you looked forward to find out what other people thought about it. You wanted to know what Barry Norman thought about it that was on TV. You'd buy magazines like Starlog, or whatever it is, and have a little look and see what's being talked about in regards to it, and see if it meets your own, or whether they talk about something that you didn't see, and then you'd go and see it again and see whether you see what I mean. We don't have that excitement. I don't think we have that much excitement anymore.
No.
So I will say that. Now, the reason I've got this still open is the only thing that's turned up this week, and this is a perfect example, right? The only thing that turned up this week is Tron Ares.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's a film I don't give a shit about. I told you that when it came out. And the only reason I've got it is because I've got the other 2 Trons in steelbook form last year. I loved the first Tron. The second Tron wasn't that bad. And this one is atrocious. But it goes with my collection. So there you are. When it comes to what you were talking about earlier, the TV series, I look forward to when I go and come back from looking after my mum. I look forward to hearing from yourself. The other film that I saw was The Running Man. I was very interested to know whether I'd like the Running Man because of what Si said. He said, "Oh, it spoiled it at the end," and the thing that shocked me about it was how much of a drop it was. I think he said I was giving this score a 9 or something, but then when I saw the last 20 minutes, I'm going to give it a 7. I thought, bloody hell, that's a drop, right? But I actually see where he's coming from. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but I see where he's coming from. Now, it's one of those things where I've read the short story, which is a Stephen King under a pseudonym. Short, and it is a short story. And the film, like Cy was getting at, was very close to the book. It would never work because the difference between the two Running Man films is that this one is set over a year, and he's on the run for a year. And if he's found out or recognized, there's penalties to it. Plus, everybody would be trying to capture him. You couldn't do that now. How much CCTV is there around on posts and stuff in the middle of cities and that, and face recognition and all of that sort of stuff? Wouldn't work. But when the book was being written, it was in its infancy, all of that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's I look forward to you watching it and coming back and saying what you think of it. I know that I think you've seen the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, which is a much more simplified story. Works on so many levels, just purely, it's just purely from certain angles that you watch these things. So yeah, that's pretty much all I watched. So over to you, really, because I haven't really got much else to say.
Well, I'll just you sent me that Pluribus episode 1.
Yeah,
and it's good that a series I watched that first and I was waiting for the next one, so I'm looking forward for when you send any more of it.
Oh, that's okay.
It really the ending of it was really good. I loved it when he asked him, how come you're talking to me, and just and all that. I thought it was absolutely superb. The whole story it's intriguing, isn't it? The only thing, the thing that annoys me is, it's Apple TV. That is never going to get a physical release. And it's something that is good quality. It's high quality.
Yeah.
And it's sad. And it's sad that is not going to get any release. It's really sad. Anyhow,
there was something I saw in the news. Danny explained, put something up saying that they've got a new distribution deal for Warner.
Yes, I did see something about this distribution there.
So it looks very much like things are looking a bit healthier, because no matter what happens now, you've got a distribution deal that means that things can carry on. So yeah, that was good news.
Yeah.
Anything that sort of like continues something that we're a bit scared about.
But that series, the first episode that I saw, it's one that you think a lot of sci-fi people would really enjoy. It's really good. It's quality. It really is quality. I like that. So what else have I watched? Well, obviously I've watched this again because I got excited.
Cromwell, yeah.
Cromwell.
And it's funny you didn't tell me that you'd ordered that and where you ordered it from.
Oh, Rare Waves, yeah.
Rare Waves.
Yeah.
I think when I looked after you'd shown it, I think it was £15 or something.
Yeah, it's a French copy as well.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Do you know, I've looked even more sort of research on this film, and apparently there's quite a bit that they didn't put in. There's probably maybe 25 minutes or even longer that is not in this cut, and some bits on here I thought, I'm sure, because I saw this at the cinema, I may have seen stuff at the cinema that weren't in this cut, because I really love this film a lot. Watching it again, I'm trying to be more critical, is that it does jump too quickly. You get the start of the Civil War, 1642, major battle, Battle of Edge Hill. But then it just jumps that Cromwell sees the mistakes, forms his own more professional army so that they've got a chance. And there's all sorts of other things. But the major battle, which I'm sure I saw in this film, was the Battle of Marston Moor, 1644, which is a crucial battle. It wasn't in this. It just jumps to Naseby, the very last battle where the king's defeated. It's the total defeat of the king. But and other bits as well. I mean, I'm not bothered about historical accuracy, but just looking from a pure film point of view, I could see that it did look like it had been edited. You could feel that there was stuff missing from it, which is a shame. But as I say, the performances of Richard Harris and Alec Guinness, what can I say? And the host of other great actors in this cast, it's just fantastic. Absolutely loved it. And yeah, they ought to get a UK release with the added, if the added footage is still around, if the footage is get it in the film. That's what.
So would you say that Cromwell would have benefited from being an epic film like Ben-Hur?
Yeah, I think they could have put more in it. Yeah, definitely.
You have to. The reason I say that is because of the year it came out. Now, is that something that would have worked in the period that it came out?
It's 1970 that this came out in, and they could have. I think they still could have given it more of an epic feel. The 60s, they were still at that. It could have done. I think they could have made it more epic. But I suppose it's budget as well. The budget probably wasn't as high because they probably spent. In fact, I did look. The casting of Richard Harris and Alec Guinness was quite.
How long is the film? Is it just under 2 hours?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, it's about that, about 2 hours. But I say, reading about it, you could see that it would have benefited from extra footage in there, because you do notice it. Sometimes things just jumped too quickly, which is a shame. But I still love the film. But it's just, when you hear that they could have put more in, you want to see that, and maybe it's gone as well. It's not available. Maybe it's destroyed. You don't know, do you? I don't know. It's a shame. Anyhow, what else have I watched? I suppose I'll start with what you call your Tony York corner. This first one is a Western. It's a standard Western, really. Hondo, John Wayne. It was in 3D as well originally. What can I say? John Wayne, Geraldine Page. It's her debut as a sort of, and she went on to make more of these kind of films and became such bigger. I think personally, Hondo, I can see why it's looked at in quite a favourable way. But I'd like to have seen him, like when he's with James Stewart. Wayne and Stewart together are great. And in many ways, that kind of thing is missing in this film for me personally. It's more just a standard John Wayne. The dog is quite interesting. He has a dog with him, which is quite an interesting character.
Right.
That tells you something if I'm talking about the dog. It was okay. It's all right. It's considered a good, I don't like using that word, solid, but there we are. Western.
You know what? I haven't really thought about this, but now you bring up animals and dogs and that in the West and all of that sort of stuff. I can't imagine there being a pug or a toy dog. Do you know what I mean? Right? I haven't seen those in Westerns. They've always been pointers or border collies or something.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you think they actually had those types of dogs?
Yeah. Well, if they'd have those sort of dogs, they probably would be in some saloon or some brothel with some sort of character, a madam or somebody having one of these little dogs. That's where it would be. Not the tough cowboys and all that. So there's that one. And then I watched another Western, but this one was Gary Cooper and Burt Lancaster. Now, I know this sounded strange. I kept looking at Burt Lancaster. I don't know whether the way it was filmed or what have you, but this smile, his teeth kept when he was showing up all the time. His teeth, and I'm looking at this and thinking, why is it? And I wondered if they'd. I think they had. I think they'd slightly sort of darkened his face. I think that's what they'd done, and unfortunately, it made his teeth when he smiled stand out.
Well, it's probably one reason why I quite like Deadwood is when you look at most of the people that are in the streets, you know, some of the main characters, their teeth are crooked, they're yellowed.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. There isn't a dentistry
yes,
all, right?
You don't
around about in the 1860s. This sort of stuff, right? I mean, I don't think teeth whitening was a thing. Do you know?
No. I think that's so right.
You know, there was more people taking their teeth out and putting them in glasses than there was.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
it's interesting because Charles Bronson is in an early appearance in this film. And at first, I didn't realize it was Charles Bronson. I kept looking at it. I'm sure it's recognized. She needed the mustache. There was no mustache. And that immediately you see the mustache. Oh, it's Bronson. But there was no mustache there. And I'm looking at him and thinking, oh, I recognize him. But it just shows you it makes a difference. And yeah, I liked it. It was set in 1866. It's sort of the Mexican Rebellion, and we've got a lot of the old-fashioned kind of French. They're fighting the French again. The French are always extravagant in their uniforms and everything. They're still all that, whereas these are all gritty people, and it was really good. And there's a character in it that's hired by this countess, and she's going round in a coach, and of course, in her coach, she just happens to have loads of gold, which is supposedly secret, but everybody seems to know about the gold. It's not very good at keeping secrets, so everybody's trying to think, oh, got to get all that gold, you know. I mean, crazy, but absolutely loved it. It was daft.
Now, I am just going to have to interject here because I have got to go.
Right.
I'll be back in about 30 minutes or so.
Okay, that's all right. I could just talk about.
But I just wanted to say, just before, early on, for those people that wished me happy birthday, thank you very much. I have got to put something on Facebook and wish everybody, but I just don't go on Facebook very often. It was a bit of a, just a normal day for me, but it really cheered me up to see all the nice comments. So thanks for that. And like I say, thanks, Ian, for being a supporter. I will be back in about 30 or so minutes. Just got to come to bed. All right.
Right. Okay. Now I've got an Australian theme now, and we have got here a film called Mad Dog Morgan. Now this is from 1976. And we have got Dennis Hopper. Wow, Dennis Hopper in Australia. There's a brilliant interview actually with him on this as one of extras. Again, I go on about extras on DVDs, but there's a brilliant interview with him. And he'd never been to Australia, Kent, Australia. Absolutely loved it. And he plays an Irishman as well. And he has this beard. In fact, you might not even recognize that it's Dennis Hopper. When you see him, his Irish accent is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But this big beard he's got, I just I couldn't help but think, wow. Well, you can see a bit of it there. It's sort of really covered up. It covers his face right up, and he's got this Irish accent. It's. Anyhow, the film, I say, is based on this true story of somebody called Daniel Morgan, who was like a notorious criminal, if you want to put him that way, but a bit of a folk hero now, like Ned Kelly in Australia, and all the authorities and everybody's after him, and it's his story, really. It's got an inevitability about it, but it's really well done. Well, Well, in fact, at the beginning of the film, there's like somebody talking about it, almost like a narrator who appears at the beginning, so you kind of know where it's going to go. But I thought it was great. And the other thing is, there's he befriends this Aborigine called Billy, and it's played by this actor who is David Gulpil. That's his name. It became quite famous in these roles, especially in the next film that I'm going to talk about, which he's also in. It's a fascinating film. It is also quite shocking. The beginning bit is you're thinking, God, what have I just seen? It's like that. Sometimes something happens and you think, did I see that? And I found that quite disturbing. It's a male rape scene, and it's disturbing. You think, eh? Right at the beginning, it's totally disturbing. But the film it's what can I say? It's beautifully shot, and the direction is absolutely fantastic in this. And these, do you remember there was a film called Tracker that we talked about with Ray Winston? It reminded me also with that, because you had these trackers, these people who were after getting him because they'll get the money and what have you and rewards. The authorities have this, and it's just a fascinating story. And the fact that he's considered a national hero, it's sort of Australia with its villains, because it comes as a convict nation, and here he was, and nobody could capture him for quite a while. But I thought it was very entertaining. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Now, the next one I want to talk about is this one. I think may even have a 4K release. It's Walkabout, which stars, of course, Jenny Agutter, who is extremely popular, as we know, extremely popular. This is an early film of hers. I'm trying to think, if this could even be her first film. Because I think this. I don't know if this is before The Railway Children. I think this may be before The Railway Children. The Railway Children was pretty early on. But this film, it's a story of basically, it's right. It's quite disturbing. Again, there's a disturbing aspect to it. Is that she's got a little brother. They're in a car with the father taking him on a journey. I think that there've been the lad's in his school uniform, and she's also with sort of school. And he stops the car, and they go out and play, and then he starts shooting at them. Wow, that is disturbing. And then he's out in the car shooting, and they're running for their lives, hiding. She's protecting. And then he shoots himself, and the car is also set on fire, and that explodes. Hence, they're stuck in the desert. We get surviving somehow, but with the help of this Aborigine boy, who is played by David Gullip. I can't pronounce it. Gullipil, something like that. And it's a great performance. Absolutely. This is directed by Nicholas Roeg. Nicholas Roeg was well, he was well known as in terms of a cinematographer, and this film. Well, this film he went on to direct. Well, he directed. His first film was Performance. I think this is his second film, because Performance was 1970. That's one with Mick Jagger in. It's sort of a gangster kind of film. And then, of course, he directed Don't Look Now, which is an absolutely amazing film. I love Don't Look Now. And then another of my favorite films. A lot of people find it, maybe some people too weird, but The Man Who Fell to Earth with David Bowie. Bowie perfectly cast. I think it's a great film. Bad Timing, Garfunkel. Yeah, it's crikey. There's a theme there, isn't there? And then The Witches. He did the best version. I heard some people going on about there was a remake of The Witches. And the remake, I saw it and I thought, God, this is terrible. But this one, The Witches, Angelique Houston is in it, and she is fantastic. Absolutely, it's just brilliant. Oh, and there's even Rowan Atkinson makes an appearance as well. The 1990 version of Witches is brilliant, and that was directed by Nicholas Roeg. But say this one, he just lets the camera just feast itself on the landscape. If I've any criticisms of it, I think sometimes it kind of is almost not enough character driven in a sense, because we're so busy enjoying all the landscape that we could do sometimes with even more about the characters. We do learn quite a bit, but I'd love to have known a bit more, about the father as well, about what's happened, and the way it ends as well when it's projected into the future. It kind of I kind of think that though this is a really well thought of film and praised quite rightly, I still have those reservations that come into my mind about it, which is a shame, really. But I mean, this is an early film from a director, and I can't really argue with the films that he directed, which are just absolutely fantastic. But I know this has had a lot more attention. I think it's even say got a 4K release. People have looked at this film more, and it says here as well, uncut, because there is some nudity when she's swimming, and though they said, I think she said she was 17. I think they said there was worries that when she was actually beginning of the filming, she was actually 15, which would have broken the laws in terms of filming. But they got through that with the censors. There was a bit of problems with the censors about that, which I think sort of surrounded the film. But anyhow, it got through, I think, because it wasn't seen. The scenes are not gratuitous; they're just there as she's swimming. I think that is one of the reasons why it got through. I say there were worries about that, but it got through. So I think this is a good film, really, and highly recommended. So I think that's it, really, of what I've watched so far this week. More to come. I can't wait to see more I'm going to watch. So what we'll do is we'll get on with the comments. See. We've got Sai saying evening gang. And then we've got Mainmeister. Now, I think Della's maybe answered something connected with this. What I'll do is I'll read this out, and then read his answer. If either of you had a 3D printer, what would you use it for? I love tech, but for the life of me, I can't fathom other than printing little models. Can't think of any use for one. Am I missing something? Now, uh, here we are. This is Delboy's answer. I don't know nothing about these things, but it says, easy, Alan. 3D stuff of my PC, like disc, tray, bay, or a Marvel figurine chess set, or constructible model kit like Airfix, etc., etc. Do you know something? I don't really understand this 3D printer, really how it works. All I know is you see people who have these and they produce these like figures and things, you know, what they want. They look intriguing, but I don't really know much about them. It does sound intriguing producing these like models and things that they do. It recreates all these things. I say, but fascinating, but I don't know anything about them. Anyhow, I'll go. I hope that has answered you. That Delboy has put that on, which I'm glad he did because that sounds nice. Right. So let's go back up here. Then we've got Tony saying, good evening, Ian, Del, and chat. Hello, Tony. Welcome as always. I love the Dalek there. Yeah, love it. And then Sai saying, hi, Tony. And then Tony said, hi, Sai. And then, oh, yeah, sorry. And then I should have done this. Then Mainmeister says, thanks, Del. In other words, you're confirmed. I don't need one. Thanks for saving me a wodge of cash. Well, yes. That can't be bad. You definitely, if you save some brass, you're all right. Right. Sai says, is it true that you can make the actual working parts of a gun on a 3D printer? Wow. What basic material do you use in a 3D printer? I'm guessing it's plastic. So look. So look, I'm just trying to get here. Oh, we got some idiot on there. The idiot. Oh, we always get these blooming idiots, as if we cared about what they think. You know, who cares? Just go away. Let's have a look. Yeah, I believe it's resin type material it uses, but the end result is very durable and hard. He says, a mate of mine prints various very realistic weapons. Really impressive. Wow. That sounds amazing. Oh, thanks for that. And then we've got Jamie saying, here we are. Good evening, you bastards. I wonder where you got that from. He always says it. And then Mainmaster says, a mate of mine printed me a full case to put in my Mister in, and another mate printed me a huge character from Demon Hunters for my daughter's Xmas. It was very impressive, and yeah, it does look. They do look impressive. I have seen on YouTube these what they create. It is impressive. And then Tony says, evening, Jamie. And then, howdy, Tony. And then Maymaster, reckon if you're into models and what not, it'd be a great thing to have. Yeah. Do you know something? I wish, I know this sounds a bit weird, but it's me anyhow. But yeah, I'm not very good at making models. No surprise there, I suppose. But I always loved the Airfix, the way they look. You know, the boxes with the illustrations and models and all those kind of things. There was got another company as well that made them. Oh, I've forgotten what they're called. I used to go into these shops, and honestly, I just love the boxes. I would collect the, I'm that daft. I would collect just the boxes rather than because I can't make up the thing. I would definitely, and I may well buy some again of my favorite things that I like, because some of the illustrations on those boxes, the old classic um, Airfix boxes, I just think are amazing. I know it sounds daft collecting boxes, but I just love the boxes, the illustrations, and I've definitely they bring back a lot of memories as well. My brother, he was into them. My brother, he was clever one. He would make them all up and paint them and all that, but transfers on. I couldn't do that. And he used to buy all these big boxes, you know, Lancaster bombers and all those kind of things. Second World War, big aeroplanes, great stuff. And also, I do remember him doing the Concorde. I always loved the Concorde. I still love the Concorde. I think it's a magical plane, something like that. Wow, I love to have models of the Concorde. I love the Concorde. It's great because the other thing is my dad. He was involved in making the engines of the Concorde. The company that he worked for, they were commissioned not only to do the Harrier jump jets, which I've talked about before, but doing the Concorde ones. I know he did the British and the French ones of the engines. Yeah, and he always loved the Concorde, and so do I. You know, even though, of course, it was a big disaster, wasn't it? Really, it just didn't take off, and of course, there was the famous crash at the air show in France, which effectively killed it off totally. I think there was one in. Didn't the Russians do a rip-off version, and they had problems with theirs? But there is a museum, I think, isn't there, that has the Concorde still does, and it's very narrow, isn't it? The very together, but it's still a beautiful bit of technology for that era. Just the Concorde itself is just absolutely love it. And this is James says, can't believe you bought Tron Harris Delboy. He buys every blooming steelbook. You know, even if he doesn't like it. I'm always saying it to him, why have you bought that? What on earth have you bought that for if you don't like it? Because he said, well, perhaps he secretly likes it. I don't know. But, really, I know I'm not a fan of Tron, as you probably know, but you Tron fans seem to think that this is absolutely terrible. I mean, why have it in your collection? But, you know, I suppose people have to have all this. Well, he does. He has to have every steelbook. I mean, blooming heck, he even brought Section 31, Star Trek one, which is the biggest pile of rubbish. Honestly, it is the worst thing I've ever seen. No, perhaps the War of the Worlds is just. It's just that level, that War of the Worlds new thing. But you know, it's collecting. People do that who are collectors. But I'm glad to see you, Jamie, not submitting to that. They're getting that, you know. But I don't like Tron anyhow. I don't. It's not for me. And a 3D printer would be good for printing textures for pottery or lino printing. Yeah, I'm sure it would be. Do you know what pottery interests me? I love the way the different designs with pottery are made. All the different techniques. I've been sort of interested in sort of the, you know, like when people look at antiques and the development of a lot of pottery. You know, like even vases and all the different techniques used in even making things like that. It's fascinating. A lot of Chinese, Japanese influences and all that kind of stuff. I'm just totally fascinated by all that. But anything antiques, I tend to be interested in and collecting. Yeah, that's why I like watching Bargain Hunt. I know I've confessed it before. You know, just give me the iPlayer and I'll sit there watching all these Bargain Hunt episodes. I love it. And then hello, Muckman Sai says, oh God, that stupid idiot I put on there. Oh, dear. Why do we have these idiots? I don't know why they come, but there we are. Right, let's have a look. Right. Obviously, I'm not very good at trying to remove them, but I've got rid of him, I hope, now. Right, yeah. So, yeah, I've got saying, Muckman, are you excited to see the John Will quartet of films getting the 4K treatment? Ah, yes. I bet he is. And another question, lads, how often do you lads go into a charity shop, pick some great films for pennies, then discover you already own the buggers? God, that must be awful. I don't go. I do like going to charity shops, and when I get out, I don't get out much, unfortunately. But I love going to charity shops. But that hasn't happened to me. I'm normally pretty good at remembering what I've got. I'd say definitely, but I do love them. I mean, discovering a bargain, but it's the ultimate, isn't it? You think, hey, I've got it, and then oh no, yeah, you think you've got a bargain, and you haven't because you've already got it. But there you are. But I think charity shops are great, and it's good to see that people are still discovering things. I'm watching YouTube and think people like Jim Jam, who he's going around Birmingham and what have you, and he's still discovering things. He thought it was going through a bad period of not discovering things, and then he comes back and finds all these great things. Some really good things he found. He was finding Arrow releases and some of the sort of boutique label things. It was absolutely amazing. Now I'm trying to think what it was. It wasn't a charity shop. It was one of those where they sell sort of old technology and all stuff like that. And the name, see how hopeless I am. The name has completely forgot one because I know we've got one in our town. They have a sort of lot of technology that you can buy second hand, but they do have Blu-rays and DVDs and all that stuff as well. I just completely forgotten the name. Right, and then here, Jamie says, I'm binge watching Severance on Apple TV at the moment. It's brilliant. Every episode is full of intrigue, which has had me captivated. That sounds great. When you get a series like that, it's great. Absolutely. And then Tony says, I think it's Vinegar Syndrome that's supposed to be releasing a fair few Warner titles in the coming months. Well, that's good. I'm hoping that it won't be as bad in the future. But I know people are worried about this. Is it the Netflix Warner Brothers business that's gone on? But at the moment, everything is going to be okay, isn't it? I think Warner Brothers are still releasing, and hopefully it will continue after that. Maybe people have been too gloomy and they're putting up these YouTube videos and saying it's the end almost. But no, I'm sure something will work out, and that they're going to be. They've got to, there's still a lot of physical media collectors. Also, if you can make money out of physical media collectors, then these people all go for it, and they do. And then Jamie says, Main Master, I never find anything of interest in charity shops, unfortunately. It's been lucky, Jamie, or unlucky. Sometimes you can find some, but you know, it's just luck, I think. Yeah. Main Master says, last one for everyone. I'm in a desperate need for some quality films to watch. Please give me 5 films I need to watch. Not huge on sci-fi. Del knows my taste. Thanks in advance. I don't know what totally your taste is. What do you like? War films? I don't know. What about? I'd say quality war films. Like, what about The Guns of Navarone? It's an absolute classic. What about The Dam Busters? Absolute classic. I know some of these are old, not every old thing, but I love old war films. Oh, what about Battle of the Bulge, 1960s film? I think in 1968. Or what about if you haven't seen The Deer Hunter, watch it. The Deer Hunter is absolutely fantastic. I love The Deer Hunter. Tobruk. Have I mentioned Tobruk? Battle of the Bulge, Tobruk, 60s films. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, the Blue Max. You've got to watch the Blue Max. The Blue Max is outstanding. James Mason's in that, and it is George Peppard. It is honestly, Blue Max is just right up there. Totally recommend. You should watch the Blue Max. Yeah, hopefully I might have given you a few ideas there, or maybe not, but have a go at it. They're war films. Sci-fi films, I could. If you're not huge on sci-fi, I won't recommend any, but those you might think, definitely. Or I don't know what you like. Horror? Do you like horror? Horror? What can I say? Horror films. Sinners. One of my favorites was I would say Companion. I don't know if it's maybe if you're not as much on sci-fi. That's sci-fi horror, but I absolutely love that. What about some Hammer films? Honestly, Hammer films, they are absolutely superb. Start with Dracula, the original 1957, is it? I think 758 Dracula. And the Curse of Frankenstein. Oh yeah, Curse of Frankenstein, which has had a new release of that, and I think there's a standard edition of it. But you know, anyway, get old. Curse of Frankenstein, you got to watch. And if you don't mind watching older films, really, I look at the Universal classics, the original Frankenstein with Boris Karloff, and Bride of Frankenstein. That's 1931, 1932. The Bride of Frankenstein is considered one of the great Universal films. And then there's the original Dracula. I think that must be about 1931, 32 as well, with Bela Lugosi. There's some great films. They may not be everybody's taste, but they're where all this started. But for comfort, I would go to that. That's how I would look at it. I mean, horror films have been going. There's so many great horror films, in the classics. Rosemary's Baby, The Exorcist, The Omen, Suspiria. I'm always on about Suspiria. Suspiria is one of the great all-time. It's one of my all-time great films, not just in horror. Suspiria is a masterpiece. I talk about that so much. I absolutely love it. Italian director Argenta. Um, Horror is my thing, I suppose, in that sense, but so is sci-fi. But if you're not huge on sci-fi, I won't recommend any more sci-fi. And the war films, as I say, I mentioned war films and horror. Great, yeah. There is other things. I could go into spy films as well. Oh, look, all you need to do with some is just Google. Do a Google. You know, what is considered the best spy films, and you might get a list up of best spy films, excluding Bond. Or you could do something like a Bond session. Pick 5 Bond films to watch. Maybe one from as many. Say a Connery one, a Roger Moore one, the George Lazenby one. Then who was after that? Yeah, so Roger Moore, Pierce Brosnan. Timothy Dalton is too. You could include one of them. There's all sorts. Just have a look. I don't know. Action films, Indiana Jones kind of films. Old action, historical films. I don't know, but I've gone about historical films. But there is, honestly, if you are stuck, just have a look at what are considered the best in each genre. All you need to do is just Google, and you find some great choices there. Right. Right. Sinners is one, Alan. Right, there you are. If you haven't seen One Battle After Another, I'd recommend that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that one. William McMahon. It's all Marvel films and other CGI bollocks from the last 10 years. Yeah, Marvel. What can you say about Marvel? Yeah, we I think, like many people, just had enough of it. And we want practical effects. I love a good old practical effects. That's why horror is such a good area. Horror, they're using practical effects in a lot of these horror films, which is great. Though I do love horror, but some of like the modern ones, I don't like the Terrifier ones. The Terrifier ones, I just find a waste of time for the sake of it. Really, it's just showing off how much gore you can display on a screen. Don't like those, but there are other good. There's a lot of imagination still in horror films. That's it. Just look at your genres. Just do a Google, have a look, and see something that you might find. That's a good start. I would say. What are considered the best war films? You'd easily, they're going to come up with a list of 10 or 20. Easily, you can easily come up with them. From classic epic films as well. There's some great stuff. And then and of course drama. Never be put off by drama, because drama gets a bad take. But you can look up a lot of drama films if you like film. Also, world cinema. Just have a look. You can find all sorts of good films. And then we've got. Thank you, lads. I'll write these down. Frank Holder, Delboy, when your next gaming video or stream, you've got something planned. I don't know if he's answered that, but when he comes back, we can try and remember. Oh, yeah. Oh, crikey. Life of Chuck. That's a great one. Life of Chuck just is outstanding. What a film that is. That's a film that's just... I've not had it that long. I bought it beginning of this year. We're still in there in January. What a film. Life of Chuck. It's not what you expect. It just something about it is just... It's one of those films you think, wow. And then, do you watch foreign films with subtitles, Alan? Well worth doing. I love, Yeah, I love my French films as well. Ah, yes, I love the French ones. Uh, um, and Antonio, I checked on Cromwell. Apparently, there is a cut that lasts over 3 hours. Would be interesting to see what was omitted from the release you have, Ian. Yeah, I would love to see. I think it will be more battle. Some of the battle scenes. I feel sure I saw more. It just jumps too quickly. You know, from 1642, Battle of Edge Hill, right till Battle of Naseby, 1645. And there were some great scenes, battle scenes that did. And Marston Moor is the one that obviously sticks out. It's just such a massive thing, especially when Cromwell is testing them out, and he's built his own troops that are loyal to him, that are just totally professional. Then that's why I think it's a crucial part of the film that wasn't in. But I suppose they make decisions about editing and what have you, and that's it. Yeah. So Delboy's back, and there's let me just go back. Yeah, here is a question from Frank. It says, "When's your next gaming video or stream? You've got something planned?"
Well, yeah. I mean, I've always got something planned. But actually, Steve from Steve's Gaming bought me a game that Rocket Bunny's been playing. And I said, because he bought me it as a gift, I'm definitely going to do a showcase on it. And it might even become a series. I've got lots of video stuff that's coming out, but I'm probably going to, if I can, try and do some live gaming stream on a Saturday night or something after I've got my mum to bed, and if I've got my if I'm not too tired and I've got my blog all prepared. Because the problem is, I only really have an hour when I've got my mum to bed, because I have to get up at 6:30 in the morning. So that's Monday to Friday. So then you've only got Saturday and Sunday. And if you do a 3-hour blog on a Sunday, you're preparing on a Saturday all the stuff you've watched and all of that. But I think I figured a way of cutting that down on Saturday, so I've got more time. And I've already done the snapshots for some. I've done five or six film snapshots, which I'm therefore I've got 6 planned films to sort of like do some Delboy film shorts. The gaming one's a bit harder because you've got to play a game, and I've got to think about a game that I want to say from my past that I want to play. You know what I mean? And then not come across like a complete dick and not be able to play it very well and show you anything on it. What's the point in that? That's not very entertaining or fun, is it? But I do go into the games, I have to say, blind an awful lot, because I'll think of a game that I haven't played in 40 years that I loved, and then I'll not practice on it. I'll read the instructions to remind me on what you need to do, because I don't like, although I find it very fun finding a new game that you don't know the controls of. I tend to find, well, if I'd have bought the game, I'd have read the instructions would have been in the box. So it's not like I'm cheating. I don't look on YouTube to find out or remind me what it looks like. And the nice thing about going to a channel like Mainmeister, which I recommend everybody do, is that he's such a good player that he will do a stream on a Sunday, say, and they'll just come up and say, right, Alan, I want you to play this game, right? And he'll just do it, and I'm going, bloody hell, I mean, I probably wouldn't get off the first screen or something, right? I mean, I'm bloody useless, right? There are games I'm good at, but they tend to be the less hectic. And the thing about me is that my life is around earlier games, that were reactionary, like Space Invaders and Galaxian and Pac-Man. They were geared to take your money out of you. So basically, if you go, oh yeah, I remember Pac-Man, I think I'll do a Delboy short on Pac-Man. Well, I haven't played it for about 20 years. So, I probably wouldn't get around the first maze or something, and then you look like a complete dick. You know what I mean? And at the moment, I need confidence building, not something that makes me feel worse than I actually. You see what I mean? So yeah, there's a little bit of confidence building that I've got to do as well, in the fact that I haven't done much just recently. But it's all because I'm hell bent on making my mum comfortable. Just making my mum comfortable. That's my whole. When I'm at work and I'm trying to concentrate on work, I'm instantly thinking about my mum, what's going on, and then when 4 o'clock comes along, I'm with my mum, and then that's it. Like when she's in bed, I'm less, it's the time where I can go, right, she's going to go to sleep now. She's got her panic necklace on if she needs me. You know what I mean? And I can sort of relax. But every time up until when she's in bed, I'm hectic. I'm constantly thinking of my mum. So the simple answer is, yeah, I could probably do something live. And I'm looking forward to, because there's a couple of people that bought me games over Christmas, and I thank them personally, but I want to do it publicly, if you see what I mean. There's not many people that buy me something for my birthday or Christmas or whatever. So, I publicly want to go, look, I got this. Let's see what it's like. Oh, my God, look at this. Oh, I'm dying. It'll be like that, and I find those fun. I do find those fun. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing a bit more. Was there anything else before that I might be able to answer?
No, I think that was the one connected with games and that. Yeah. So we'll carry on. We've got Frank saying, Maymeister, saw your stream last night, top viewing, thank you. And then Maymeister says, haha, thanks, Frank, first one for a while, so that's good, doing live streams. And then Tony says they made a TV series of Hondo after the film with another actor in the role instead of John Wayne. It's not bad. I have the DVD. I didn't know that. Yeah.
By the way, some people are just talking about my mic. I think it'll be a bit better now. What seems to happen is, and it only happens on StreamYard, it turns my volume down on my mic to 8 out of 100.
Yeah.
And I have to then go back in and turn the volume back up. I don't know why. I hope it's better now. Is that better? I hope so.
Yeah, that sounds all right. Yeah. And then we've got here Maymeister saying, top film recognition from me, I swear. Yep, this has been mentioned before. Beautiful film, and really it's hard.
We talked about that about in the autumn. It's I think it's about Tourette's.
Yeah, I've seen people showing it on the on YouTube. Yeah. Here's a nice joke for you. I like the Japanese remake of Hondo, Honda, Jamie.
Oh dear. By the way, just before we go any further, did you mention while I was gone about the weirdness about the?
No, I didn't actually, because I don't know. We were talking about other stuff. I didn't get onto that. I should have. Yeah. Do you want to put it out now and then?
Well, it's funny, but like anybody, and I usually mention these things in my blog, that I get alerts in YouTube, and somebody put up and said that 2025 was very high on anniversaries. Like 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. Because everything came out in 1985. Do you know what I mean? And this year, there's a very unusual thing in the fact that in Japan, it's 30 years ago this year that the DVD was first introduced. And if you go back 50 years, it's 50 years to this year that VHS was introduced. And I thought to myself, wow, who'd have guessed? 1976, VHS in Japan, 1996, DVD in Japan. And I'm just going, wow, that blew my mind. 50 years and 30 years, same
wow, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And of course, it made me then start reminiscing a little bit about VHS. All the sort of like companies that used to bring out, like, do you remember Channel 5 and Cinema Club?
Yeah, the cheaper
all
ones.
of those, the sell-through stuff.
Yeah.
And how BBC took an absolute age to get their video production up and running, because they couldn't get equity on board in regards to how reruns work, and that certain people were recording the match, like Manchester United the night before, and they'd rent it out to you or sell you it for 30 quid out of the corner shop for you to actually do it. And I just thought to myself, wow. I mean, nobody tried to do that with me, but there were pirate tapes, and I do know that a lot of band tapes were under the counter of certain little boutique video stores before Blockbuster became a thing.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody tried to sell me something that was recorded the night before and I missed it. Mm-hmm. And you bought it for 20 quid or something because it was on Sky and you didn't have satellite and you recorded it or anything like that. But yeah, all of those memories came back of me having to program the video recorder timer because my parents didn't know how to set the timer to record something.
That's true, yeah.
And at Christmas, people would buy us a Christmas stocking of those horrible library cases that you put your videotape in, that look like leather-bound books.
Yeah.
Oh, you put on your shelf.
Yeah.
And that every videotape that you bought used to have a sticker set with little numbers on, so you could put number 1 and number 2 and number 3 on it, and all this sort of stuff. And your mum would put on the tape, mum's tape, do not record over, or something like that, right? Yeah. Because it'd have all her soaps or something, you better not record over that. My God, that would be like death or something. And forgetting that you took the tab out so you didn't record over it. You had to put sellotape over it.
Yeah.
And all of those things, they just came back to me.
Yeah.
And it was mentioned that VHS, 1976, and of course Betamax, 1975, a year before. Sony was saying it will change your life, and of course VHS won out. But
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd mention it because it might have a lot of people might have their own thoughts and go, oh, I remember VHS for this, or I remember Betamax for this, or I remember
the Scotch
first time I had DVD.
Or, I just remember those Scotch tapes. Everybody getting loads of these Scotch tapes, and just putting the sticker on, and then putting, as you say, Dad's tape. But I was always putting like, Next Generation. Episode 1, whatever it was, but I used to record on BBC 2, I think it was, all set up.
I made a little joke to you, didn't I? Before we started tonight, said, I wonder if anybody in 2024 or 2025 sent an email to Scotch, because they still make sellotape, don't they? Right? And said, there's a lifetime guarantee on my videotape and it has faded away. So can I have some more videotapes, please? Because I've got around about 500 of them here and they're all fading. So this lifetime guarantee that you introduced in the 80s, can I have some more VHS tapes, please? Because we all know guarantees, they mean nothing, don't they?
No,
it's just funny that they made a big thing in their advert.
It was a sales pitch,
lifetime guarantee, re-record, not fade away. It was Boney, wasn't it? It was the Boney skeleton guy that basically advertised Scotch videotape. And I just thought that was quite funny.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Right. And then Tony's laughing at your joke about the Honda. And then Mainmeister says, a very little known comedy gem, Angels Share, an indie budget film filmed in Glasgow. Quick, dark, but very funny. If you like train spotting, you'll enjoy it. Nice film recommendation. I can't say it. Yeah, there. Yeah. So Angels Share. Question for Del Ian. Films based off video games, why are they all crap?
He's not wrong. He's not
I
wrong.
don't know because I'm not a gamer, but
no, but I mean,
right.
look, I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't take too much, does it, to think
No,
about?
I don't think
You've got Wing Commander and you've got Borderlands and all of these. These have all come out.
They've all been slagged off, aren't they? It's terrible.
They're all pretty poor. I think what's missing in Hollywood is that Spielberg always turned around and said that he was very excited about where games were going because the narrative was changing. You were getting a story and you interacted with it. And he, you know, where cinema is flat, it's sort of like you get immersed in a story. It's them telling you a story like theatre. So when you watch a game that had a story in it already, and you then try and turn it into a film, it doesn't really work very well because what we tended to do is like when Star Wars came out, we wanted to reenact the Death Star battle. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I'm flying around in a ship and I'm blowing up all these TIE fighters, and then I blow the Death Star up. And you were reenacting something that you saw on the big screen with fantastic effects. You see what I mean? And back in the day, we didn't get those effects because machines weren't powerful enough. But when you turn something that's now photorealistic now in games and you then watch it and it's turned into a film, you're going, what? It's not the same as comic books. You know, we read those for years, and when you see a man climbing up a wall or something like Spider-Man, it still gives us that heebie-jeebies, you know, that, oh wow, they did that really well. But a game like I say, Wing Commander, say, it just doesn't work because the story's already known. You're just adding to something that we've already seen, and you know, the effects are better and all of that sort of stuff. But I think that's the reason. And if we go back further, turning Pac-Man into a film, Space Invaders into a film, you could do it, but even Space Invaders has got a 3-line write-up that says aliens are coming down, you're the last craft, you've got to protect the planet, blowing them up. Well, where's the film in that? Because you know that is it. You know, Pac-Man, little yellow blob going around a maze, eating pills. The ghosts, you can attack them when you pick up this power pill, a bit like Popeye and spinach. Right? There's not enough there for a narrative, really.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it doesn't really work the other way round. I think that possibly might change. I think I've always said that VR, virtual reality, that might. I watch films in VR because I like to watch my 3D films with my VR headset on. And sometimes I'll watch a film, even though I could watch it on my big screen. I'll put my VR headset on and watch it. And you can imagine that a VR headset gives you controllers. You could probably have an interactive film. You could probably do a James Bond film as an interactive movie with a VR headset on. Like I say, that might be the way forward, but it won't be anything else. You know, and like I say, they've tried to turn things. Somebody's just mentioned Pixels. Yeah, Pixels worked. to an extent. But what I was trying to get at with is that Pixels was all of those early games made into one big film. I'm talking about turning Space Invaders into 1 2-hour marathon film. What? You know, the last Starfighter worked, although that was a game that never got released, if you see what I mean. So, yeah, that's all I can say about it, really.
Yeah. I'd just like to make an interesting point. You know, this year Spielberg is 80, and he's got a film coming out this year, and it'd be interesting to know, is he going to continue working? And I suspect he might do. If he isn't, you know, this could be his last film. I don't know. I don't know what his health is like, but he is 80 this year, and he must be in good health. I say he's made this film. So it's, you know, he's such a big character, had such a big effect.
I think Ridley Scott's older,
film,
and he's still making films.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could carry on still going as long as you're healthy, you know. But it's just an interesting, you know, because Spielberg is somebody who kind of grown up with, and you've.
I've forgotten what Spielberg's film's called. I can see the cover of it now. It's a white cover. There's a sort of a ghosty sort of like lady's head or something.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
It's based on a book. I can't remember.
It's another alien film.
Yes, it's another science fiction film.
Yeah, which is good. It's good to see him back doing it. But that's coming out this year, anyhow. So let's carry on. We've got Mainmeister saying, apart from the latest Terminator 2 game just released by Bitmap Bureau, restored my faith in video games again. There you are.
Yes, he's actually done a video of it, and I don't mind promoting these things because it's really done quite well. I think it's called, I forgot what it's called now, Past something or other. But yeah, these people that I think are up in Scotland, I think they've made a game that doesn't try to rewrite things. It's very not cartoony. It's retro styled graphics based around Terminator 2, the film. Lots of sequences. But what they've done is they've allowed you to sort of like change the story at certain points. They've added bits to the story, and you can actually do it like the film, or you can go off in a different direction and rewrite history a little bit about in that game. It's really quite well done. I didn't buy it. I didn't have the money. I think things are a bit tight, but definitely recommended that Terminator 2. Apparently, it's a bit short, but if a game's fun, it doesn't bother me that something's too short. You know, it all depends. If it's fun, I'm more happy. It's when I bought something that's so rock hard I can't even get off the first screen that I go, oh shit, I've just spent 20 quid on that. Now, waste of time that is. Won't load that again. You know, and then you start thinking twice about buying things. So, you know. But I don't mind. And of course, you can always bump the hardness up. So, wouldn't take much with me. Say that.
Okay. Actually, just before we go on, I'd just like to say, if anybody is watching here that's not subscribed to Delboy's channel, why not? Why not, indeed? Because I've put a link in the description, which you can click, and you can go over to his channel and subscribe there. But enjoy what a wonderful channel he's got. I always say every week about his blog. He produces this wonderful blog. It's an absolute brilliant experience. And I use that word in a very positive way because it is an experience and it's really good. You get to know him and his life and how things are, ups and downs. It's a fantastic diary of events in his life, and it's great. But he also does more, as you can probably see. He's into gaming. He's very much into his games, and he does a lot of gaming. He's well known in game community, and And also, when he finally gets time, but I know how difficult it is, he does have an interest in films, and he's on here. So it's showing you that he's got an interest in films, and he has done in the past film, looking at films, various films. So there's a lot to look at on his channel. Just have a look in at his playlist, and you'll see all the things that he does. So highly recommended. Go over there and subscribe. And
that's very nice of you. I have to say that if you ever want to know, there's a guy in the channel in here, Mainmeister. It was him that got me into YouTube. If you ever want to blame anybody, look, go and have a little talk with him, right? He was doing a live charity stream, believe it or not. He does this he does this quite a bit, really. Very big into charity. He invited people to come on, and I just came on and chatted, and I remember his friend that was there as well said, "Bly, this guy can chat for England." And of course I was scared to death. I've told the story quite a lot of times, but you know, repetition is my friend a little bit. I don't mind talking about it again, and you know, and then I was brought on sometimes, you know, and it's very nice that somebody comes back to you and say, well, I haven't had Del on for a long time. I think I'll just send a little text message to him saying, do you want to come on this Friday or whatever it was, right? And it's funny. This is the downside of everything. I felt I had all the time in the world, and I wanted to go on to as many chat things about stuff as I could. And now it's the hardest thing in the world. I make time for Wednesday, and but it's a disruption to you, which is why thank you very much for all of your support.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all.
But you know, we haven't got all the time in the world. Going back to Bond. You know what I mean? We have all the time in the world. We haven't. Yeah. Now those offers are dried up. Never happened. So you know, it's nice.
Yeah. Well, we'll be here as long as I'm still alive. We'll still be doing these.
Long may you live. That's Captain Birdseye. You know, I mean, now that your Findus fish fingers are sort of like not in advert form anymore, it's really nice that you give us the time on Wednesday for you to do your little chat on films and things.
Great. Okay, so we'll go on to Jamie McMahon Movies. I watched Still Alice, starring Julianne Moore this week. Very engrossing and moving film about Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah.
Julianne Moore deserved her Oscar. Wow, it's one of those things.
It's one that I heard about actually 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to write it down and get, I want to see that. Obviously because of the Alzheimer's disease part of it, but I've also heard good things about it. So
Yeah. Well, it's a good recommendation anyhow. So Still Alice, it's the one to remember. And then Tony says, Vera Cruz is an early Aldrich film made around the same time as Apache. Apache, that's all right. Really enjoy it. You're right about Burt Lancaster's toothy smiley, and I know it was just rather strange. It really was. As you say, you said it, in the Old West, I don't think dentists had a big part to play at all. Oh dear. And then Mayma says, I need to head off. Thanks for recommendations, lads. Have a great night and enjoy the stream. Thank you anyhow for joining us. Really great to see you. Thank you so much.
Cheers, Alan.
Then, we've got Sai saying, has anyone seen that there's a rumor that the Rockford Files is getting the remake treatment? Still no news on who will be cast, but knowing modern Hollywood, it will probably be a woman. I've heard nothing about that. I've had absolutely
I've heard of that rumor for years. I think the first time I heard about it was Nicola Bryant from Doctor Who was talking about Rockford Files because she said that she
Really?
had a big crush,
Oh,
you know, um, and um, and then I think Sophie Aldrin that was there saying I heard that they're remaking that, and I didn't know whether she was talking about the TV series was being remade or whether they were making a film about it.
yeah.
I did, but I've heard a lot of these shows being branded about Hollywood, saying they're bringing this back, they're bringing that back, all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff that's come back has been rotten. I mean, BBC brought back Bergerac last year. What a bloody crap piece of shit that! I mean, not that I liked Bergerac the first time round, but my God,
yeah.
no. And I don't know whether the Rockford Files would work. Might do.
Yeah.
Can't say, you know. I mean, there was a show, wasn't there? A TV show called Maverick, and then they made that into a film, didn't they, with Mel Gibson, and that worked.
Yeah, it could work.
Who am I to say?
But it depends. You've got to have the right actor and the right script. And nowadays, you don't. Though I'm hoping that there's going to be, because of all these things that have happened with Disney and seeing all this going on, hopefully now things will move back the other way, and that people will start producing shows that the audience can relate to, that the audience want. You know, they don't want to be preached at. They want just stories and actors just doing that. That's all they want, good stories. And that can be done. It can be done. Why not do it? You know, it's there to be done. Hopefully. You never know. Things go one way, then the other, so things might come back. Yeah. And then I think it goes to prove they've run out of ideas. Well, that seems to be a thing. That this is what I need. It needs a shake-up. It needs encouragement of new writers and people with ideas. And there are people out there, because we've seen it in a lot of independent cinema. So why can't you have it with TV series? Is that one that you have sent me episode 1 Pluribus? That looks like it's got original people with interesting ideas. So why not? You know, there must be writers around who could do this. But, well, that's what I say. And then Si says, yup. I really enjoy Vera Cruz too. Yeah, I thought you would do.
Oh, there's a second one.
Yeah, it says I like Vera Cruz better than Ondo one, actually. I think Vera Cruz, let's say it.
Did you hear that? Well, there's a second one, Vera Cruz 2. I haven't seen the first one yet. What's that all about?
Damn.
Yeah, you were talking about historical films earlier. Did I miss something there? You were talking about war films.
No, I was talking. Vera Cruz is what came out when I was talking about what I'd watched. You remember? That's it.
No, you were talking about. I think you could come up with.
Then we got on about teeth.
I heard something about 10 war films or something. And I was.
What it was is who was it who was recommending? It could have been Mainmaster was recommending, what sort of films. And I said, genres. He was saying, but not sci-fi. He wasn't into sci-fi as much. So I said, what about war films? And I just gave him name some war films.
What did you think of Patton?
Of what?
Patton.
It's okay. It's sort of got an epic kind of feel to it of its period. George C. Scott is pretty good in it.
Yeah.
It's not 100% my favorite, but I enjoy it. I think it's a good film. It's a good biopic, definitely.
Yeah. I watched it. I watched it sort of like mid last year, and then of course instantly I got my Jerry Goldsmith vinyl out.
Yeah, there we are. Get it in there. We've been doing so well, haven't we?
No. So well. Just sidestep that amount. But I must admit, I thought it was very quite talky film.
Yeah.
But I did like that. Oh, I don't know, but Nuremberg has been out this week. I watched that. It's got Russell
Crowe in it.
Crowe in it.
Russell Crowe, yeah.
Yeah. That's a very interesting, because it's a remake, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
He looked the part as Goring. He really did
Yes.
look the part. So I'd be interested to watch that, definitely. But I have heard some, but there's always sort of negative reviews in there. I think, yeah, I'd like to make my own mind up on it, really.
Well, I know that they do like to sort of like try and knock Russell an awful lot at the moment, probably because of his weight.
Yeah.
How he used to look and all of this sort of stuff. I look at it as, who gives a shit as long as he acts well?
Yeah, exactly. And
I don't get that bit.
To me, he looked, I saw him and he looked the part. And if you've seen pictures and sort of extracts, I've seen extracts of the real Nuremberg trial. He looked perfect.
Because what was it? Was it Burt Lancaster that was in the black and white?
Yeah. There's quite a star cast in the original Nuremberg trial.
But you know, I bought it on the BFI label.
Oh right, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic film.
Yeah, there's a big cast.
But you were talking about lookalikes.
Yeah.
I don't think Burt Lancaster looks
no.
Like
But Russell Crowe looks like he really has done it spot on. And now here's another film that Jamie is mentioning, which has had a bit of controversy already. There's another The Mummy film on the way this year too. I saw somebody, I think they even maybe, I don't know, I saw somebody said they'd seen it or they were looking at the trailer to The Mummy and it was already getting slagged off. I thought, for goodness sake, it's just a trailer. Give it a chance.
There's a lot. Remember, we started off even the beginning of last year by saying, look, there's just too much negativity. Bash a film before you've even seen it, right? But I must admit, the last Mummy film I saw was the Tom Cruise remake that Universal were trying to. They were trying to bring back the series, weren't they?
It failed. It failed
drastically.
Yeah.
I don't know which The Mummy they're going to try and make. They've, I love the early 30s Mummy.
Yeah.
Film.
Oh, yeah.
Boris Karloff.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind the Mummy films.
No,
that came out in the 90s.
Did some great ones.
What was the last one? The Terracotta Army or something was the last one, wasn't it, or something?
I don't know.
It was all about the Japanese Terracotta Army coming back to life.
Oh right.
And it was all right.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that there's some certain YouTubers seem to just want to knock everything that comes out. They're already jumping on the bandwagon. I saw this bloke and I thought, you stupid so-and-so, going mad about The Mummy. He hadn't even seen the film and he's going mad about it. For goodness sake. I haven't got time for that. Have you?
Typical YouTube.
You knock it,
typical person that wants to invite an argument, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then that brings in viewers, I suppose.
I was just going to say, I think it's done for views, don't you? They do it. They know what they're doing. But hopefully everybody will just, don't watch them. Right. And then Hopper is quite crazy in Mad Dog Morgan. He's good at doing crazy. Isn't Dennis Hopper such a good actor? I love Dennis Hopper. You never know what he's going to do. He's an unpredictable actor. And in Mad Dog Morgan, he totally surprised me. That Irish accent and the beard, you just wouldn't have known it was Dennis Hopper. It was fantastic. He was just great. And he was potty. And you could tell on the interview, he loved it. He absolutely just loved playing that role. And that comes across, it was something he wanted to do. And, like sometimes you get some actors, I think bigger actors sometimes. But Dennis Hopper comes from an indie background anyway. He's very much an indie kind of actor as well, in terms of his directing as well and whatever. But you get some actors, it's just another role, and they don't seem excited as excited as some people. And he was genuinely excited, and I thought, well, that comes across in his performance. It was just great, and it made you think, wow, what a great actor. Sadly, not with us anymore as well.
Yeah.
He died, didn't he? Yeah. Here is Buckman saying David Gulpy is a great Aborigine actor. Yeah, he was, absolutely. I think he may have retired now from that, but he was in those series of films, and he got work obviously because he stood out. He's very good at what he did. And then we've got here Jamie saying, I watched a Peter Weir film called The Last Wave at the Leeds Film Festival a couple of years ago that starred David Gulpy and Richard Chamberlain. Ah, well, that's an interesting character, Richard Chamberlain as well. Yeah. And Tony says, there's a more modern Australian bush ranger film, Ian, The Legend of Ben Hall. I think it's only on DVD. Yeah, Australia's got some great sort of film going on. There's a lot of Australian films now. The industry is great in Australia, and they've got their own history. They've got some great things. You can make Australian westerns, really. That's what often these are. You do some great Australian westerns. And then... yeah, I have the Blu-ray of Walkabout, a very distressing early scene with the father. I found that really quite shocking.
Yeah, I got that on DVD though. I haven't got it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, mine's Tony's DVD.
Tony Corner. Yeah, look, Tony York.
I showed it at the beginning. I got ahead. But it is distressing. It was unexpected. It was really unexpected. Sometimes things can be unexpected. You think, oh my God, am I watching this? And there it is. Here it is. James says, I have that limited edition of Walkabout. Watched it other year. Great film. Yeah.
I think I sat down and watched Walkabout along with Lord of the Flies and a load of other films that I remembered from school when they used to wheel out the old TV and video recorder and made us watch a load of literature that like Advice of Men and things like that. And I loved it. I loved reminiscing about it. It was great.
Yeah, quite right. Yeah, definitely. Anyone off to see 28 years later Bone Temple? Is that out now? I wasn't a big.
It's the third or fourth week of January.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we were talking about?
Yeah, I know it's out this month.
And I said that somebody said, "What are you looking forward to in 2026?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well, I'll mention 28 years later Bone Temple because
I
believe it's the third or fourth week of January." And
I know Jamie didn't like the first film as much, but I enjoyed it. I thought the first film was okay, really. I'm looking forward to the sequel. Yeah. And he says, Sai says, I'm going to watch it on Sunday. So he's off.
There you
go. To see it on Sunday. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. Here we are again about the Aborigine actor. David Gulpil is in Rabbit Proof Fence 2002. It's about the Australian government forcibly removing Aboriginal children from the natural parents during the early part of the last century. Now, that sounds interesting. So that they were trying to give, I presume, to the white Australians Aborigine children. Wow. Well, that sounds quite a historical thing that happened. Dark period in their history, maybe. I might go to see it this weekend too. Oh yeah, still that. And then I need to watch the first one again. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was on Sky last night.
Yeah. Si says, I'm going to a special screening of Battle Royale on Sunday evening after 28 years later. Oh, you're having a real feast there watching that. I've not seen Battle Royale. Everybody places that as an important film, one that's talked about quite a lot. So hopefully you're good. Well, you should have a really good time there. Special screening as well. Brilliant. Always supporting cinema. That's great. And it says, I love Battle Royale. It's one of my favorite foreign films. It's a brilliant dystopian take on the downfall of society. Fantastic. I'll have to see great scene sometime. I love it too. It's so good, Si says. And sounds like the world at the moment. Yeah. Oh, that's nice and optimistic, Tony. Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean, though. Best not to. Don't watch the news. Don't watch the news. Rocket Bunny says, "Good evening, guys. Hope everyone is well. Bit late this evening, but we'll have to have a look up chat to see what I missed. Well, thank you for joining us anyhow." Rocket Bunny.
Hang on, no, don't let him off. Oi, you bastard. Right? Well, you missed the bloody beginning. Go to the back of the queue, right? You little shit. Hey, you be on time. You know? Not this, oh, sorry, sir, I didn't mean to be late. Bugger all that.
And then Jamie says, Kinji. Oh, after Fukasaku.
I swear he's put that in just to piss you off. Go on, carry on.
Of Japanese crime yakuza thrillers. I have loads of his older stuff, much of which I still need to watch. Get watching them then, lad.
Yeah, bloody start watching them then. What's all that nonsense?
But yeah, I'm sure you put that name in deliberately so I could.
Of course he did. It's stupid. Little bastard.
Si says, I've been watching a bunch of World War II documentaries. It's scary how close DT is slowly becoming AH. Yeah, that's true. And then Evening Rocket Tony says, hi, Bunny. Muckman says, and then I, Rocket Bunny, says, and Tony says, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely is a quote I've heard. And yeah, it does. Power does corrupt. It
yeah, and with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah. Yes, it does. DT won't get as far as AH. There'll be a civil war before that happens. Their gun laws will literally backfire. Oh, crikey. Yeah. Thank heavens we've got gun laws here. And then Tony says, I've heard there's over one gun for each person in the US. And I don't know what the population is, but that says it all. It's massive.
Yeah, don't go down the gun laws of America, because I tell you what, Charlton Heston was in trouble enough with that, and so was John Wayne.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, John Wayne and Charlton Heston were big advocates, definitely. But there we are.
And it always used to make me laugh, because when I was watching Boston Legal, Denny Crane was always talking about the gun laws.
Oh,
it's quite funny. William Shatner playing Denny Crane. It was really funny. Boston Legal was a good show.
And then Jamie says, yup, crazy. And then Frank Holder, Concorde used the superb Rolls-Royce Olympus engines. The Aria used the RR Pegasus. Yeah, that's what my dad was involved in, all those, making those.
And in my blog, somebody asked me my favourite aircraft, and Concorde and Harrier were both of mine. They were in my favourite aircraft.
Yeah, mine, definitely. It's all because of my dad, really.
Because of your dad, wow. I
Yeah.
mean, my God,
Well,
I
he
didn't know
made
that.
he was involved in making the engines.
Wow.
Fantastic. Yeah. I always love Concorde, though. It's something special. It's a real special aeroplane, the Concorde. Beautiful
Wish
aeroplane.
my granddad had been working for Rolls Royce. He worked for
Oh,
Peugeot and
right.
Talbot.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was on the production line
Yeah.
for those cars.
Oh, it's great, isn't it, when you got family connections to all these
Well,
things.
my dad was a
Yeah.
mechanic when he
Yeah.
left school, and he worked on the old GM, the old British motors,
Yeah.
So he worked on the Austin cars and all.
Yeah.
He brought back no end of cars. I mentioned some of them in my blog. I mentioned he brought back a Ford console once that blew me away because you pressed a button to start the engine in that car.
Yeah.
That was before the Granada, wasn't it? The Ford console.
Yeah.
He brought back a Humber Zepter. I loved that because it had what they call overdrive. Overdrive was a fifth gear before there was a thing called a fifth gear.
Yeah.
But Rolls Royce, I mean, you'll have to tell
Yeah.
me at some point, Ian, about all of that. I'd be very
Oh,
interested
it's
in
fantastic.
your dad's story about Rolls
Yeah,
Royce.
my dad. My dad's interesting because he started off before national service as involved in being a cinema projectionist. He started off as a younger lad, taking the films, the big reels from cinema to cinema, and then he ended up doing the projectionist thing. But then, of course, they got called up into national service, as happened, and then in the army they said, "Oh, can you drive?" And he could drive, and they said, "Oh, right, okay, you're doing driving stuff," and that meant he had to learn about mechanics. He had to learn all about the engine, so he got a training and insight, and that's what he took him into originally, was
Wow.
car mechanics, and then it went to aeroplane engines. But he wouldn't have got that without the national service. It's interesting.
No.
He learned the trade, about mechanics, and once he could do car engines, he went on to do, say, aeroplane engines. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't.
So was he in the RAF?
No, he was in the signals. He was in the RAF. The Army signals. So he was involved in doing radio transmissions and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And from that, they discovered also that he could do the mechanics, and they needed people with driving abilities and driving. So he sort of got moved to that because it was a great thing for him to learn all that, and he used it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And then Tron Ares sits next to Snow White on Dell's shelf.
Well, it would do if Snow White actually still existed in my collection, and if I had a shelf to put it on. But I have to say, this one won't be going back, but Snow White did. Snow White legitimately went back. I don't know why I ordered that.
Yeah, well,
I don't mind being the butt of a joke because I turned, I actually, when I showed it up, I said, and I don't know why I ordered this, and then everybody went, Snow White, you bastard. I don't mind. That was the whole point. The whole point. But it went back 2 days later.
Yeah.
Nice Amazon and their 30-day returns policy.
People haven't been very kind to Tron Ares, have they? They've been quite.
I swear nobody reads the comments, right? Because when you go to Amazon, and you say I want to send it back. They say reason for sending it back. I put it's shit. I actually did put it shit. I put other it's shit.
What to think? Yeah,
I was drunk and it's shit. I swear nobody reads those things. They just give me my money back when it got.
Oh dear. Right. Jamie's got a question. What country would you move to if Reform win the next election? Unfortunately, they may well. I'm seriously thinking about emigrating if Farage gets in. I know it's terrifying. I don't know.
He was actually at PMQs today, Prime Minister Questions. And he didn't have a chance to say anything because he doesn't get any. He hasn't got enough politicians for him to be able to ask a question. You have to actually have, although he did well in the last election.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be hard with the amount of people that would jump in ship at a Conservative.
Yeah.
But it's just that the Conservatives get 6 questions. He got none. Right? And they were all turning around and saying about Farage and his policies and all of this.
Yeah. Oh dear.
He sounds like a foreign chocolate bar, doesn't he?
I loved it that all his constituencies was they interviewed him when he got elected. Oh, now we're going to get all sorts done, and it's going to be great having him as our MP. And then now you interview these people. Oh, he's never here. He's never in our constituency. He probably don't know where it is. He's probably gets lost trying to get to constituency. That's how good a constituency MP you've got. But you voted for him.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Actually, this is a good shout. A lot of people would say New Zealand is a good country, beautiful country, and yeah. But what can I say? And then Frank Holder, Ian, is it you don't like Tron or is it you don't understand Tron?
Both.
I think with me, I said this before. I've told Del about it. I'm of an age where I wasn't brought up with computers and computer games. I'm before that. I'm an old bugger in 70s. And therefore, I look at Tron and it doesn't have that connection for me at all. I just see it.
Yeah, but do you remember my answer to that?
Mm.
I turned around and said, look, Tron is like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah?
Yeah, I do remember you talking, but at the
end of the day, it's a bloke that's transported into a computer, but it's the same thing as somebody walking through a wardrobe and going into another land.
I get you, but it doesn't do it for me. I just don't like the.
That's why I said it's both of those things. Yeah. You don't like Tron, you don't understand Tron,
and the aesthetics. I don't like the aesthetics of it. I don't like the way it looks. I think as well. I just think it looks awful.
I think you ought to give it another try, but I'd give it a year before you do. I'd give it another year.
I've got it. You sent me a download of it. I have kept it. I didn't totally delete it.
Oh bloody hell! What you know how to keep things? Jesus,
I did keep it, though I nearly did delete it because I thought, well, I'm not going to watch that again. I still might delete it because I can't see myself watching it again. I couldn't complete it. I mean, when you can't even complete a film, it's bad. I was just so bored.
We all have these things. I mean, I was taken aback you didn't like Rocky. I was taken aback you didn't like 2001.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things. Some of these films are in people's top 5s.
Of course.
We can't all like the same thing.
No, that's true. No, I have to be fair to Rocky. In the end, I did get through to it, and I have watched it, and I think it's okay. It's not like before where I understand Rocky. The appeal of Rocky is quite obvious. Sylvester Stallone, he's a lovable kind of character to people, and I can understand. And it's the little guy taking on the world. And people love that kind of story. So I understand Rocky.
I mean, Tron for me, it hit me at a time where, yes, I was into computers, but I was also, it's so early on in the 80s that just the spectacle of the special, the effects that were there.
Yeah.
later on, I found out actually there's not that much digital in that film. It's actually a lot of work
Practicals.
with
Yeah,
practical photography,
yeah,
superimposing one
yeah,
frame over another and doing that
yeah.
frame by frame and all of that sort of stuff. That I when a film came out that blew me away with how it looked, I was taken in by it anyway because
Yeah,
it's an
yeah.
impressionable
I get
age.
it. I
But
do get it.
I
Totally.
keep forgetting that there's about 30 years between us.
Yeah,
In
there is.
age,
It seems like that sometimes.
Ian.
The 70s
Uh,
is a different era. The
I mean,
80s.
when you consider that the special effects to you was what the Butler saw in the 1901, you know, I mean, I can understand why Tron might be a bit
Yeah, yeah,
too far for you. You know?
yeah. It is. It's too far. It's too far. I just don't get it. But it's like with Disney. I don't like this Pixar Disney stuff. I like the traditional 2D Disney
You've never really talked
stuff.
about Toy Story, have you? Did you like Toy Story?
Toy Story is the one. It's the only one film that I like. I like Toy Story. I think there's something about it, and it's like seeing Toy Story. Great, that's the only one. But then when you they started producing more and more of these kind of things. The animation just was
Well,
like, oh Lord.
I will say that the market is watered down because once Toy Story came out and it blew everybody away,
It did. I accept it's important.
everybody seemed to. They were moving away from standard cell animation anyway, with things like Disney's Beauty and the Beast and all of this.
Yeah,
yeah. We're moving away anyway.
Yeah.
Because there's a scene in Beauty and the Beast where there's the ballroom scene and it rotates around and they're doing a dance and all that.
You was never gonna get Robin Hood again, the old Robin Hood one.
Well, yeah, I'm a big fan of Robin Hood and the Aristocats and all of that sort of stuff.
You're never gonna
I was going to little boys sort of like cinema club, Saturday morning kiddies cinema club. And one of the first things I saw was Robin Hood, with a fox as Robin and a snake and all of that talking and the Jungle Book and all of that.
You see, the Jungle Book is that really thought, oh, Jungle Book is fantastic and it's musical, but the thing is the songs are really good and it's a bit controversial.
Oh. But I remember being of such an age that Fantasia blew me away.
Wow.
I like classical. Yeah. I love classical music. A Night on Bear Mountain, and Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, and all of that sort of
stuff.
There's
loads of. That's why.
But just look at Snow White, the light and dark that's in Snow White.
Yeah,
how that shading is done.
You can see. In fact, I've got the original Snow White, and I love watching it. I absolutely love watching the original Snow White. The songs may be a bit, the sound like of that period, when they were made in 30s, they're of that era, but it doesn't matter. I just love it. And I watch something like, anything after Toy Story, and I don't like it that much at all.
It's amazing that when people start talking about animation and they start bringing in things like, what did you think of the Lord of the Rings cartoon that never got finished?
I like that. I love the Lord of the Rings cartoon.
I always turn around and say, so now that you've talked about that, does anybody remember Flight of Dragons? And people will go, look at me blankly, or they'll go, oh yeah, I haven't thought about that in years. Now, the reason that Flight of Dragons rings true with me when Lord of the Rings is mentioned is because it's a battle between how science is taking away fantasy. That's the whole point of that. Dragons are becoming extinct because more boys are growing up knowing science rather than fantasy. That's the whole point. That's really good true with me because I was looking down the route of science and computers over what I saw as a kid and read as a kid with Narnia and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Narnia, I love all that. Because there's a Narnia film coming out and they're on Netflix. I think they're going to be interesting to see how bad that is. It might be good. No, I'm being negative there. It might be good. It might think, wow, this is.
In fact, actually, thinking about it, I'm not even sure if I've got a DVD copy of Flight of Dragons.
Oh,
I've got Lord of the Rings, the cartoon. I
have
don't
you?
know if I've got
Yeah.
Flight of Dragons. I've got Heavy Metal as a cartoon as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Based on the magazine.
Rings, it was such a shame because they ran out of money, didn't they?
Ran out of money, yeah.
That's it. And it was. I loved it, and they had to just suddenly end it, didn't they? They just ended it.
Fantastic cover to that as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's
the artwork front cover.
I love it.
Gorgeous.
Absolutely love it. Anyhow, right. So we've got here Muckman Movies. Do you watch Pottery Showdown on Channel 40? It's a good reality TV show. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know if he's taking the piss now.
I don't
know. Do you watch Pottery Showdown?
I don't watch much on that sort of stuff, but
did you used to watch? What was his name? That bloke who used to do The Old Country, and it was some Hargreaves or something.
Oh.
He used to be on a Sunday, and he used to talk about twitching and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, he was on
water divining.
I remember him as a kid. He was on How. Was it? Do you remember
How
with Fred Dinage? And he was that Hargreaves bloke was on that. That's but I never saw them, bro.
That was the sort of figure that said you're starting to turn into him or something.
Oh yeah, I might be.
I remember living on the farm and having a Shire horse, and we used to have a whippet dog and all this.
Yeah.
And we grew things in the garden.
I like the history though. I just love all history behind things, and that's why I suppose I've got into antique ideas and that.
Making fishing rods out of tree branches.
And then Frank said, Bookman Movies, I had to stop watching that pottery show. I would like to watch it, but I cannot stand that crying guy, always blubbing. I hate him. Oh, it is a proper show then. And then Tony says, I saw a report today saying that they may try putting the ex-con man, literally, Zowie, who's just defected to them, up for PM instead of Grifter Farage. Oh, well, he'll be just as bad as well. Zowie, whatever his name is. And then was thinking Greenland. Oh, might be a delightful movie. Then Donald Trump stuck his oar in. Yeah, he's after Greenland, isn't he? Yeah, he can't wait to get his.
He's after anything that can make him money.
Yeah. And yeah, Denmark is going to make sure they don't. It's not going to be as easy as he thinks. And the people don't want it. The Greenland people don't want it. You can't just say, "Oh, I want your country," and then he's complaining about China.
Leave the world alone and just go. Exactly. Look, America is this, right? That's America, your little spot. Stay there. Yeah. Happy for you to be there, and you have all that landmass.
Yeah.
You don't need anything else.
No, exactly. And China, both of them are as bad as each other.
Oh yeah,
they're the same. Yeah. They ought to, thank God they don't join together. Oh my God. They've been dividing the world up. Oh, you can have this, you can have that.
The reason I brought that Old Country up, by the way, is because it's on every morning on Rewind.
Oh right. Yeah.
Along with the old Flash Gordon serials.
This is listen to this. He says, do you think the guy who cries all the time on Pottery Showdown looks like a human version of Shrek?
Shrek.
Lovely description.
Poor sod. I've never seen it. I can't say. So I can't. I'm not going to poo-poo it. It's just that it doesn't interest me. I used to put stuff on a pottery wheel. I used to glaze things at school and put them in the furnace and all of that.
Oh, brilliant!
I've got no interest in it now. I wouldn't mind going back and doing woodworking again, but I've got no interest in doing pottery. Even though I really like sitting at a potter's wheel and having my hands in. You know, we used to get slip, and you used to sort of like they called it slip, didn't they, and all that.
But they can add all sorts to get the different surfaces on there. They could put like wire and stuff in, and then they paint it, and then They do all sorts of adding things.
The last time I thought about pottery was when they used to try and get contestants on the Generation Game to try and make a pot.
I know.
Everything was flying everywhere and all that.
Nobody could do it right, could they?
Well, they couldn't throw it into the bloody centre of the potter's wheel for a start. So that's a bad game. And then they gave them a pedal version of the pottery wheel. So they're going.
Hey, do you remember the son that had to mark these things? And they were all crap. But he give one better than the other.
Tried, so I'll give him 8.
Yeah, and it was just a pile of
crap.
Yeah. Oh dear. Now, Rocket Bunny, I still have 2 Airfix aircraft on my side, but oh, great. Made by my grandfather 40 years plus years ago. A Vickers Vimy and a Handley Page. Oh, Handley Page. Hayford. Both immaculate still, and they remind me of him every day. That's wonderful.
I've just thought I'll have to go back because I was answering Mainmeister's question about 3D printing, and I didn't know what his answer was, so I'll have to go back and look. Anyway, carry on.
No, I was talking about. I'm not very good at making models, but I say I love those Airfix boxes, the artwork, and everything about them. And I'd collect them if I had more, because some of them are just fantastic.
He brought up 3D printing.
That's right.
I turned around to him and said, if I had the money, I'd buy one.
Yeah.
And the reason I'd buy it is because I've got things that I wouldn't mind. I used to like things like Warhammer little action figures and army little creatures that were made out of lead.
Yeah.
And instead of making them out of lead, you can make them. You can 3D print them and then paint them.
Yeah, you see,
I wouldn't mind in my old, coming up into my old age.
Yeah.
3D printing little musketeers and things like that. Painting them.
Do you know what I'm going to do now? You're making me think. Yeah, when I get some money, I want to buy these lead soldiers and that are painted. I'd do Napoleonic ones. I love.
Like I said, with a 3D printer, you could print them out and paint them as many times as you want.
Just absolutely, and I could do the Civil War, so I could do Roundheads and Cavaliers. I could
and that's the reason why I'd like one.
Yeah, you could do all sorts. Oh, you could do Romans and Saxons, and Vikings, and you could do it.
Everybody on the internet has already thought about it, put their designs up, and you can download them and print them.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah, because you could do everything. Romans would be great as well. Roman stuff and right. And then we've got here Rocket Man saying, all those I made myself are long and smashed gone. Laugh out loud. I know all the Airfix stuff. Yeah, not many survived, did there? I don't think even my brother's stuff survived. He did loads of them, but yeah. But sorry, I've just seen your John Woo question. I already have good bootleg versions of The Killer and Hard Boiled, but we'll probably pick all the Arrow releases up too.
I've heard that they're coming out by Arrow, aren't they?
Yeah, Hard Boiled. Yeah, that's what
I've seen The Killer and I've seen Hard Boiled. I like John Woo films. John Woo films.
Yeah, they're getting the full treatment, aren't they, with Arrow? Yeah.
Did you remember I showed you that Laserdisc of I got a John Woo film? I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, actually, that's another thing. I do love your Laserdisc collection, even though you can't play them. Oh, well, you might be able to.
I can. Yeah.
You just collect because of the look. Again, it's an aesthetic look that you just like them. I mean, even I would buy some Laserdiscs if I saw them, for my favorite films. Definitely. Yeah,
you can sometimes go on eBay and you can get them for 50 pence. Sometimes
you know which one I'd be looking for, won't you? If it's on a Dune 84, is Dune 84 out on a
Dune did get a Laserdisc release. You can get it.
Wow.
There's a Japanese release and there's a British one.
Have you got Dune 84 on?
Yeah, Laserdisc? I've got the American one, but the British one is pan and scan. The Japanese one is the best one because it's got the best blacks.
Yeah.
remember somebody saying that.
What's the artwork on the laser disc?
It's the purple. It's the purple sky type one with the dunes and the
right.
And
Yeah.
What's his name? I forgot his name now.
Oh, Kyle.
Oh yeah, he's there in his garb on the
yeah. Yeah, it's a standard image that so we've got Sai saying cool, and then Jamie says Frank, laugh out loud. We like the crying guy. He's genuine in love with the art. We have bets at home with which piece of pottery he'll cry at. Oh.
Are we going to start talking Antiques Roadshow now?
Yeah. I nearly said I like the crying man. Does anybody know who the crying man is? Sliders.
Oh yeah, Sliders.
Yeah,
I've heard that. I've heard whispers of that coming back.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. Oh dear. I hope they don't ruin that if they do. And then Frank Calder, I just cannot bear him, laugh out loud. It made me want to kick in my TV. If they removed him, I'd watch for sure. It's that bad. I know people can be irritating, so it goes into that irritating. Yes. And then okay, boy. Speaking of damn buses, I was remembering last night. I swear I saw a color clip of the film as a kid. I googled it, and it said there are colorized versions around. Does anyone have it? I haven't got a colorized version of it, but there could well be. Have you heard about a colorized version, Dan Busters?
No, and I wouldn't want it.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not a big fan always of colorized.
I mean, at the end of the day, I've heard that haven't they made weren't they thinking of reissuing that and there was a big hoo-ha about the cuts that were going to be made
yes,
the name of the dog and things like
that. There was a big hoo-ha about it, but I don't know if they release it and just put one of those things at the beginning, a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Put a disclaimer out because we were on about. I think it was about Crocodile Dundee, which they'd done. I had to put some disclaimer on, and one had just cut it out without even telling everybody. So that was pretty bad. And then Jamie says, anyone seen The Loved Ones? I watched it last night. It was like an Australian version of Carrie crossed with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was entertaining but lacking in substance. Well, if it's entertaining, it sounds pretty good to me. And two great films, Carrie and Texas.
I haven't seen The Loved Ones.
No, I've not seen it. I like those two films. They're absolute classics. Definitely. Tony says, don't have Dan Busters on physical. Seen it on TV. Never heard of it being colorized. Yeah. I bet you they won't even show it on TV now. Well, they might show it on satellite TV maybe, and all that. But I bet on mainstream channels they wouldn't. And then Rocketman says, I have it on Blu-ray, a true great film.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's a BFI.
Here we are. Look at this. That's a crafty question. What is the name of the dog in Dan Busters?
We don't want to be shut down, do we?
Yeah, we don't.
But I must admit, I think Dan Busters is that on BFI. It wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't on BFI. It could be Criterion.
Could be right. I don't know. I won't be surprised. I'm sure there's a Blu-ray of it. I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
It says, I can't remember, but I think it's something.
It's definitely not politically correct. Yeah.
No. Okay. I'll say it's the N word. That's it. It's the that's.
Yeah, that's all you have to say, really. I think everybody knows what that is.
And then look at that. Oh well, they've said it here. Si says, Tony, it's the N word. Yeah. And then Rocket Bunny, I heard once that Stephen Fry was doing a screenplay for a remake of Dam Busters, but there was such an outcry because they changed the name of the dog. Oh,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, they changed the name. Yeah,
like I mean, it's terrible that they're renaming Enid Blytons. You know, you can't have gollywogs. You can't have.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
all the trolls are frogs now, or something.
Noddy's had to get rid of that.
My sister and I, we do talk, and we were talking the other day, and I said that it annoys me because literally it was Ronnie Barker when I was talking to him when he had his antique store that told me that we shouldn't be scared of words. Words are something that you know that we should be free to say.
Yeah.
And history is what should be thought of is that history is something that happened and we learn from it, right? And it was only 3 years ago that they were bringing out a game that was like which was trading in the 17th century on boats, right?
Yeah.
And they took totally away slaves as cargo, right? In this game, right? And I was thinking to myself, but that was something that happened.
It was historical.
We learned from it.
Exactly.
It will never happen again. This is so why? I mean, you can't wipe things out of history.
You can't.
And as long as we teach children this went on and we've learned, what's wrong with it, right? You all of this, we're going to offend people because people came into this country and they came in as slaves, and Muhammad Ali came out with the famous slave poem, you know, we came in chains and all of this sort of stuff. He wasn't afraid to talk about it. You're making us all scared. The one wrong word is going to get us the sack from work because, my God, you know, he called someone, you know, this or whatever. I find it really, really difficult subject. I'm just going to end it there by just saying it really is difficult these days.
Times have changed. It's like, for instance, in my collection, which I've collected over the years, I collected Noddy hardback books, Enid Blyton's Noddy. Now, the golly in that, in the early ones, and then in the later editions, they kind of got rid of it. They got rid of it just like that. Yeah,
I went to school.
Around.
I went to school, and the school teacher did not have a problem with telling me that the black notes on the piano is what they call the slaver scale.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's because when the slavers were on the boats, most of their songs were sang in the key of the black keys.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why they call it the slaver scale. Now, there's nothing wrong with saying that.
No. You can't change it. You can't change something.
I mean, there's even an old classical piece, isn't there, called the Gollywog something or other, isn't it? What it is now, for God's sake. But it's you can't, you know, I mean,
it's like you cannot change the fact that there was minstrels in history, in folk history. It was a tradition. It goes right back to the beginning.
We can't talk about Al Jolson anymore.
No, that is a proper tradition. It was a big tradition. The minstrel singer.
It's vaudeville. Vaudeville in the turn of the century.
Yeah.
You know, the 19th into the 20th century. Vaudeville, Al Jolson.
It was that. Yeah.
I love the Jolson story.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I've got no problem watching the Jolson.
Yeah, it's our minstrel. It's part of the history. It's how they got to play in clubs. How it was. It's just a fact.
What makes me laugh about the Jolson story is wasn't he a Jew, a think it was.
Oh, you see, that's
He used to
another.
go. He had to go to the. He had to go to the
Yeah.
mosque, didn't he?
Yeah.
He ran away from the mosque and went to theatre and was discovered by none other than Steve Martin. That's what the name was. That was the bloke who was on the stage that was playing on it with a double bass. And he said, "Is anybody in the, you know?" And you sang songs like the War Bash. That's a song, the War Bash, right? Which, by the way, I think is one of the state's national songs. Walk Along the War Bash.
Yeah.
And it makes me laugh that he gets up and starts singing. This young lad, and he's got such a beautiful voice, and that's how start. Then his voice broke, and then he turned into the Al Jolson that we know. Otherwise, he had to do bird calls, didn't he, and all that sort of stuff. That's the Jolson story. Great story, the Jolson story. You can't talk about it anymore. It's politically incorrect to talk about that, because he blacked up and all of that.
Yeah. Actually, I learned something. I suppose it's music related. I didn't realize that MTV has now finished. MTV has finished this in January without MTV, and that's quite an historical moment because MTV was very important in sort of 80s music because it meant that all the old traditional bands, musicians, suddenly they had to either carry on as they were, but they weren't going to make videos, so they'd just carry on playing live music, or musicians suddenly had to think, oh, well, we've got to start doing these videos, and they were getting in people who made films. But it isn't that new because people in the 60s, groups like the Beatles even, did like promotional films. But MTV changed a lot of things because a lot of groups said, oh, we're not doing that, we're not going to make them, the sort of traditional musicians. So it changed music. It brought in Michael Jackson. It brought in Madonna, who again were important in the visual sense. They kind of changed rock music. Kind of didn't change into that, and that's why perhaps you could start the decline of certain rock music is all linked with MTV.
I must admit,
a new generation of people.
MTV is on Sky, and I did watch the last.
Yeah,
it was a shadow of itself. They started to show things like Buffy and things like this, old TV shows.
They weren't showing music.
No, not so much. And it was all things like what do they call it? That those people that try and date people, but they're fake and all of that. What's it called? Catfish, and all that sort of reality type show stuff.
Oh, reality TV.
But I must admit, I missed the start of MTV because we didn't have Sky when I could afford it.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. It was one of those things where I really wanted it, and when I finally did get a satellite dish, it was when the Squarial was out, which was BSB, which wasn't British Sky. It was British Satellite Broadcasting. They filmed from the Powerhouse. They had their own MTV, which was the Power Channel. But I must admit, if we continue talking down this line, we'll be here till 1 o'clock in the morning.
But we get some interesting people. Make you think, don't they?
Everybody's now going to be talking about MTV, and we'll never get to the end.
I just love to ask the question and make it awkward. Si says, "Oh yeah, that was."
Si, we love you, you little bastard.
I was wrong. Was thinking something else. Yeah. I bought One Battle on Amazon Prime a couple of days ago. So finally looking forward to watching that. Rocket Bunny says,
"Great film."
And then he said, "Oh, it was on sale."
On sale.
Joe says, I watched a really good French neo-noir film called Taco Panchin. Really gritty crime film set in the unsavory parts of Paris. And there's a lot of unsavory parts. And of course, you can buy it on Radiance. Yeah, I'd love to get more into some Radiance films. Frank says, "You're right, Ian. Yes, Del buys all those steel books and then moans on his blog that he's got no money. Laugh out loud. We don't believe you, Del. We don't believe you."
Now, if he looks back, I've bought next to nothing.
You have this year. We've seen
the last 3 months. You will see. I might have one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I showed you one today. And last week it was the Blues Brothers, and the week before that, that was it. I've got next to
You've
nothing.
had to cut back. You've had no choice.
Next to nothing.
It's economics.
Where I was getting 6, 7, 8 arriving in a week. Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sad, really, but
it is. But it's reality of economics. It's how it is.
You know what's going to happen? Something bastardish will happen, right? Where they bring out the Roger Moore Bond collection in a steelbook tin set, and I'll be going,
that could happen.
You gits.
Yeah.
It'll be like that.
That's going to cost a hell of a lot of money, isn't it?
And I'll just be going, sods.
Yeah. What do you reckon? £400 more, or even more than that, maybe?
Well, no. Actually, it was. I think it was £95. The Sean Connery one. I bought that for about 90 quid. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but there's quite a lot.
But I told you, I cancelled the Nightmare on Elm Street. £199. You got to be.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay that even because they're not all good films. There's some really bad films.
There's one company that's brought out 45 horror films on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, I saw there's a big one. Yeah,
I think it was mid media matters or something, and it's got the Bride of Frankenstein in it. All these films from 1920
Universal ones, and all. Yeah, I saw that.
It's $299. I ain't got that sort of money.
No, if I had the money, I would get something like that.
It's 45. It's quite right. It's 45 films, and I'm going, wow. I'd buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
I ain't got the money.
It's reality. That's how it is. Yeah, because they will do a Roger Moore thing, won't they?
Well, they will.
Following that, they will do one.
The only thing I don't know how they're going to get round it is how George Lazenby is going to be.
Yeah, because you can't. I suppose they could just release one stale book.
Yeah, but then you got two great big massive steel sets with all the things looking nice, and one that fits in the middle of it. Ah.
Do you think they'll jump then and come back to?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You know the big two of those two, aren't they? I mean,
yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they do. No, they wouldn't release it as because what about with Timothy Dalton? He's only got 2 films.
Yeah, but you could do a double.
Yeah,
small one in a tin like that.
Yeah,
and then you've got another big one, haven't you, with Brosnan? And then you got another big one with
Daniel. What's his face? Yeah. Right. Rocket.
Anyway, what's this? Hang on a minute. It says you are right, Ian. What did you say then, you bastard?
Oh yeah, no, I was on. You know what I was on about the Star Trek one. I said, God, who would buy that pile of rubbish? He said, yeah, and you of course did, because you've got to have it to complete your Star Trek collection.
Yeah, but I bought it for what? £1.50 in kept.
You'd still have that pile of crap on your.
Yeah, but it was £1.50.
It's rubbish. It's rubbish. I wouldn't pay £1.50 for that. What a waste of money. Oh, it was a pile of. Oh. Yeah, it'd be like. But I said you wouldn't buy War of the Worlds if it came out on Steelbook.
Oh, that Ice Cube thing. You've got to be joking.
You wouldn't buy that, would you?
No.
You have got some sense.
What a load of shit that is. That offended me, that film.
I can't believe that got passed. Well, how on earth did they put that out? It's just unbelievable. Anyhow, Rocket Money, watched The Tiger the other night. Once I changed the audio to its native German with subs, it actually wasn't that bad. some good CGI on the wheels of the detailed T-54 mock-up Tiger.
Oh, he's talking about because of the model kits and stuff.
Oh, right, yeah, that's good. And then having a good laugh there is Jamie. Mainly I'm at the age where I have subtitles on for pretty much everything I watch.
Now he's talking about his ear, but his eyesight will be going soon.
Yeah.
There you go. Then you're stuffed, aren't you?
You're Scottish, Main Master, so that's no surprise to anyone, Rocket.
Yeah. Every time I'm on his channel, I'm saying, "Can you decipher? Can you say that again in English?" I've got a bloody clue what you're talking about.
Oh dear. Question: if we found out a meteor was a month away from destroying Earth, what would be the top of your list to do? Oh, crikey!
Unsubscribe from your channel.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, the top of the list. I don't know. Gluttony. Eat loads of wonderful, my favorite meals. Eat loads.
I'm pretty sure everybody's out there that's turning around and saying, "Make love to the one I had a crush on." That I had a crush on for all them.
I'm getting too old for all that now. So.
Well, I can send you some tablets.
Yeah. Oh dear. But oh yeah, I don't know. What would be on the top of my list? Oh,
I don't know, but if I knew what the last 2 hours would be, it'd probably be watching Star Trek: The Motion Picture. It's 2 hours away from blowing me out of existence. I think I'd probably put that on. But a month away, I don't know. There'd be a ton of things I'd probably want to do. Swim with dolphins. I don't know. I mean, everybody's got a bucket list. Everybody's got something. I think a lot of people that have got bucket lists will just go, right, I'm going to go down that list. Money's no object. Yeah. I'm going to max out my credit cards because the banks aren't going to be after me.
Oh yeah.
Right. So basically, I'll get out a new credit card. Right.
I could buy that Australian dune sand thing. I could get up that. Yeah, you could do all sorts, couldn't you?
Yeah. Trouble is, knowing me, I'd get a new credit card. I'd max it out, and then somebody'd say, "By the way, it's not going to hit us now."
False alarm. We're just having a joke. Yeah.
I mean, that's what would happen with me.
And you've got to pay it all back. You're having to pay about £1,000 a month back.
Yeah.
Oh dear. And then Frank Collar says, can Ian give a shout out to Main Master's YouTube channel for gamers like me? It's excellent. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Delboy will do it for you because he knows.
I've already done it. Remember, I said.
Yeah.
If you haven't thought of it, go over there and see it. There's a stream and all that sort of stuff. I'll tell you what, Frank, I'll talk Ian into putting his channel in his description for this live stream today.
Yeah.
Just so that he can edit it and put that in.
So,
that wouldn't be too hard to do.
Yeah. And then Tony says, get this box of DVDs posted first class to Ian. Incoming rant. Oh, yes. Of course. You didn't have that, did you? You had just about your bastard and all that one.
He's such a bastard. Tony York Bleeding Film Corner. Right? We've had enough of that. Now he's got another bloody 6 months worth of films that we're going to be talking about every bleeding Wednesday.
Oh dear.
It was shit.
Right. And then Mayo says, Rocket Bunny. Yeah,
well, you know what that is.
Yeah. Yes. With regard to Meteor, I'd book a skydiving experience. If it went wrong, it wouldn't matter, would it? Well,
I
I
thought
don't
he was.
think
Do
he's
you know? I
Irish.
thought he was talking about the film Meteor because that's got a ski. That's got a ski resort
Oh,
problem in that film, hasn't it? Where the splinters of the meteor hit the ski resort.
oh,
There was a
that.
big avalanche.
Yeah. Oh,
That's a Sean Connery film that a lot of people don't talk about too much.
yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of people don't mention his films generally, do they? I don't think Sean Connery gets as much recognition about his acting outside Bond.
Well, I can understand not talking about Zardoz maybe a little bit.
Yeah, people sort of laugh at that, and that's it. But it's how it is.
Although, did you know that Zardoz was made? If I remember rightly, Zardoz was made because the director was going to be filming Lord of the Rings, and then they ran out of money, and he'd chosen all the locations which were in Ireland, and then decided to do Zardoz.
Yeah,
and there's that big floating stone head, isn't there, and all that sort of stuff going around. But it was basically a society, two types of societies, wasn't it? The barbarians and the aristocrats.
Yeah,
class type film. It's actually not a bad film.
It is. I was going to say we can think of a lot worse films than that.
And you know that he chose the role for doing Zardoz because he wanted to get as far away from Bond as he possibly could.
And he certainly
going around in a nappy.
Yeah,
sort of like you couldn't help but not.
Yeah,
you couldn't turn him into Bond in a nappy. Could you?
Yeah, and then Tony York's laughing there, and then Frank Holder, Del, kick your mic. It's going on and off. I think it's working.
Nobody's actually said anything since.
No.
So I take it it's stable.
And then Maymas says, Del, your voice seems to fade away now and again. Are you using a static mic?
It's actually StreamYard. It's the only thing that does it. I mean, nobody said anything about my blog saying the mic goes in and out.
No.
It's StreamYard.
Yeah. And then Rocket Bunny says, yes, it's better now, Del, but keep an eye on it. As last week, it slipped back down again after a while. Well,
I'll look again. I'll look again now and see what it says.
It sounds all right. Maymaster says you're louder, Del, but your voice is still fading in and out a bit. And then another great film for you, Maymaster, Incendies by Denis Villeneuve. I know you keep championing it. I've seen it. I can see why. It's a great film.
Yeah, seen it now. Seen it now.
Yeah. And then Maymaster says, I lovely cheers, add that to the list. And then Rocket Bunny, add that also, Jamie, a more recent fan of his cheers. And then Maymaster, can ask you lads to look out for Powder, a full-length film I nabbed a wee non-speaking part in, coming out in the spring. Oh,
yeah. Mainmeister's been taking some film drama lessons, and he's been in a film. They actually headhunted him, and he actually was in it. And he's now got 2 other parts in 2 other films. They're all being made locally in Scotland.
Fantastic! Well done. What can I say? Exciting. You can publicise them on here, definitely. And then Rocket was I'm a sucker for crap films from video games. Everyone hates the Doom film. It even moves away from the occult of the games, but I love it anyway. And Delboy, thoughts on the Predator Badlands Steelbook? I personally think it's shit. Don't mess about that with it. Say it how it is. Tiny predator jumping through the air. Terrible artwork.
Yeah, I even looked to see whether there was going to be a different artwork in a different country, like what the American one will look like compared to the UK edition. I couldn't find any alternative artwork for it, which is a shame.
What about Italy? See, people look.
Oh, that's the thing. Yeah. When it gets to it, I'll look at that. But I didn't like the artwork on it at all. And I told you the Tron Ares one is so ridiculously bad. You know, when you
Yeah.
think about it, look, it's just a picture. Look on the front.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, what? Oh, you might as well just put a photo on the front. There you go.
Yeah.
Useless.
And then Sai says, "We'll do Main Master." Uh, what's it about Main Master? Snorting coke? Oh, that's the powder one. um, uh, Fallout is the best video game adaptation right now. Loving the second series on ATM.
Yeah, I didn't. When I was talking about Badlands, I was thinking of Fallout, but Fallout's a TV series.
Yeah.
So I tried to think of the films, which is why I
Yeah.
went Wing Commander and all of that sort of stuff. So.
Sai says Pac-Man and Space Invaders were done in the movie
Pixels, and I was thinking to myself, do you know what? That's quite right. But I was trying to say to them is that you wouldn't make, Space Invaders film, Pac-Man film.
Here's another games question for you from Rocket Bunny. So, Del, you mentioned James Bond. Any thoughts on the latest Bond game from the Hitman creators? Protagonist is a bit young for my liking.
Yeah, I'd probably think around about the same thing. Hitman, by the way, just so that you know, Ian, is a series. It's about an assassin going around.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There's a new Bond game coming out. It's done by the people that make Hitman. What do I think? And it could be quite interesting. Some Bond games get bad reps. They're really bad. They're not in the spirit of it, or they're just rip-offs of other ideas.
Yeah.
With only Goldeneye being the one that shines really a little bit.
Yeah.
But this could be quite good, being as Hitman's a great series. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good point. I was thinking.
But he talks about the protagonist. He's talking about the protagonist there. That means that the evil guy's young.
Yeah. Clint Eastwood is older than Ridley Scott and Steven Spielberg put together, and he's still working.
Yeah, he's in his 90s.
Yeah. The Secret Level series of shorts had a great Pac-Man screen adaptation for one of them. Seriously, it had 15 episodes on other games. Some of them were amazing.
Yeah. I think I remember that.
Yeah. My master, pretty much it's a real gritty, violent look at drug turf wars. And I'm a policeman. Wow. Wow. Gritty. Rocket Bunny aside, do you know if he's working on anything in particular at the moment? He must be in his 90s now, surely. I don't know.
That's Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Who knows? Last time I saw Eastwood, he was looking very frail. I thought he was. Yeah. I'd be surprised if he directs again. Yeah. He did look very frail.
I haven't seen a picture of him.
Tony says he's 96.
Oh, wow. No, I thought he was early 90s, but 96.
Yeah. In May. Oh, it's not that far off, is it, really? Yeah.
And again, when you consider that Dick Van Dyke was jumping about at 101 or whatever he is, 100 years old.
He's 100 in December, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah. Never say never.
101 this year. Who knows? Carrying on.
So is Dick Van Dyke going to be in 101 Dalmatians then, where he's actually 101 himself?
This is why I watch a lot of foreign films. Hollywood are out of ideas and just keep regurgitating the same stuff most of the time. Yeah. You can't argue with that. Well, I was blown away when one of the first Doctor Who companions appeared in the show for the 60th. Oh, yeah, we know, age 99. David Attenborough is the same age, and he's still doing his documentaries, laugh out loud. Sadly, he died, didn't he? William Russell, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think it was only last year. Was it last year?
Chesterton, yeah.
Yeah.
But they wanted that. They wanted him, and they wanted Susan in, didn't they?
Yeah.
They
Yes,
rewrote the. They
he'll pop
rewrote
up
the
in
end. They
anything.
rewrote the end of the last season
Yeah.
to not
Oh,
make it.
I'm sure she's going to be in it again, Susan.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, and then Tony, that would be William Russell Rocket. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, agreed, Jamie. I think it was a critical drinker clip I saw this week, which went through so many sequels that are coming out this year. Hollywood is scared of making anything new these days. I know there is a lot of sequels due out and on that list this year. Yeah. Too much risk. But as I said, Hollywood isn't everything, is it? There are indie films as well
Yeah.
that are important. Ironically, the risk is greater doing unwanted sequels, if you ask me. Yeah, the fans don't go to them, do they? Don't go and watch them. I'm going to make myself really unpopular now. I keep seeing Crow as Goring. I think his accent is truly awful. Sorry. Nice knowing you all. I'll leave the stream now. Laugh out loud.
He doesn't mean.
I
He
haven't
doesn't
seen
mean any of
any.
that.
I've looked at his appearance. I haven't actually seen any of him speaking. I just thought he looked the part, but it'd be interesting. You may be right. I don't know. I don't know. And then James says Rogue Trooper animated film is coming out soon. I'll definitely be watching that.
You might not know what Rogue Trooper is.
Is that another game? Or?
Was it 2000 AD comic? I think it was. Yeah, Rogue Trooper.
Oh, was it one from 2008? Oh,
so.
Yeah. And then Rocket Bunny says, I think my problem is I've done so much research and seen so many documentaries of the real thing. It clouds my judgment of the latest Nuremberg film. Yeah. Not necessarily. But
it can do. It can do. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If you do an awful lot of research and then you actually watch a film and you look at it and you go, that's not right. That's not
right. Well, I had to do that with Cromwell one, as I was saying when I was watching Cromwell one. I was trying not to get too critical. I was deliberately trying, but in the end, you do see things that you think, really, yeah. You can't help but be critical sometimes. And yeah, it's one of my favorite films. Yeah. I thought that Nuremberg was a disappointment. Crow is good as Hermann Göring, but that's it. The score was terrible.
Now, I have to turn around and say about this is it could possibly be that the score was terrible, because the one thing that I can't think about is what the music was like in that film. So it must be pretty poor, because I usually listen out for everything, the story, the look, the acting, the music, and I watched it on Sky this week.
Yeah.
And the music doesn't even crop up, so it couldn't have been offensive, but it probably was bad.
Oh,
probably was.
Is a Rocket Money says, I will watch it for sure, but I'll struggle with Crow since I've seen the clips. Be interested to see if he loses same weight at the end like Goring did.
Some weight.
Yeah. Some weight. Be interesting.
There's a very compelling scene. It doesn't give anything away, where it's well known, it's documented anyway, about the hanging while they were imprisoned, where one of them hung themselves. He got a rope and pulled himself forward. And stuck cloth in his mouth to stop him from screaming out. And they discovered him later on, and this was after taking the interviews, of the before the trial.
Yeah.
That was quite compelling.
Yeah. They certainly made a big mistake with Goring. You'd have thought they would have somehow, I don't know. I suppose that it was difficult, the fact that, but a lot of Nazis had that with the teeth. As soon as they joined the party in the war in 30s, they immediately had a cyanide thing put in their teeth. It was just part of how they were, because they weren't going to give away any secrets.
We'll have to go through these comments quickly now.
Oh, now that's why I watched this great show. I just don't look Battle Royale added to my watch list straight away. Yeah. It's mentioned a lot. Rocket Bunny is really, really good. Rocket Bunny. Oh, I just had my first proper rant. Sorry, Del, you're worst. And Rocket Bunny. I will be on time next time. Oh dear. Mind you, we're not always on time, are we? So you'll get used to them, Rocket, and maybe even learn to enjoy them.
I hope people do enjoy them.
Yeah.
Because it is a joke. I've even said in my blogs that I do them to the people that I really like.
Yeah. Well, look here.
It's a persona.
He bosses me around.
I do not.
Wouldn't have it any other way, Si.
That's a lie. I've not bossed him about at all.
Oh dear. And then Rocky said, I have a great picture of me at Heathrow sitting in the cockpit of Concorde in the 80s. Oh, brilliant. My mum's cousin was a director for BA, and he took us around the hangars in Heathrow. Very memorable day. Oh, it would have been fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. Jealous, yeah. You wouldn't be disappointed with Battle Royale, Rocket Bunny. Just don't watch the sequel, Rocket Bunny. Right?
Does that have Hulk Hogan? Does that have Hulk Hogan in it? The sequel?
Oh no, don't him. Oh God.
No, Battle Royale. It's wrestling, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Tron Ares had some good ideas, but it was too much of a film made in the 2020s. Such a letdown, as I'm such a huge Tron fan. I'm sorry.
I just thought it was I got the idea, but I just hated the idea because going into the machine is one thing, but coming out and you're just making a film that anybody could make, because we've all seen things coming out of machines, and in other words, it's just a robot going around, really.
Yeah.
You go into the machine and you're in a whole new world, aren't you? I mean, we're not used to tanks floating around and shooting, and you driving around on a light bike and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But we've all seen films with superimposed futuristic bikes and craft and stuff. So didn't make sense to me.
And we've got Sandy. Hello, Sandy. Don't worry, reform won't get in. There's not enough fascists and racists and those grifting shysters into power. I hope you're right.
I hope you're right.
And
nice to. By the way, nice to see her coming in.
Yeah.
Nice to speak her mind as well.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. Yeah. I was going to ask about the sequel, so now I won't. And then Muckman Movies. I doubt New Zealand would take us now. We're probably too old. I was thinking the Netherlands would be a good place to live and work. They all speak English too. Yeah, a lot of people would say Holland is a good place to go to. But if everybody thinks that, you won't be getting there. At one
most
time,
people would be thinking, is the weather any better?
Yeah. Sweden, I think, at one time was one of the most liberal, sort of open-minded countries in Europe. But I think, sadly, I don't think it's like that anymore. And then Sandy says, Tron is in my top 5 films of all time for the record. Brilliant. And then Cy says, hi, Sandy. And then hi, Cy Robson. And then Rocket Bunny, as blasphemous as Ian is in his Tron opinion, I love it. I understand exactly what he means being too old when it released. I mean, he was approaching middle age back then. Oh, you pinched that joke off him. You pinched that joke off him, haven't you?
It's bloody true.
You pinched
bloody
it.
True.
It's not an original joke, that one. We have it every week from him.
Look, look, when you consider you were 30 when the Wizard of Oz came out, right? You're not going to understand Tron, are you? Right? Judy Garland's not in Tron for a
If
start.
I was 30 when Wizard of Oz came out, oh, that's putting me into
When the
back
butler,
First World
what
War
the
time.
butler saw, exactly. That's what I said. I worked it out. It's what the
Jeez.
butler saw.
Oh dear. Let's see. Oh, Muckman. How can Ian not like David Warner? I love David Warner, but it's always worth revisiting a film you didn't like. I have tried it again. I thought Once Upon a Time in the West was boring on my first watch, and then but loved it when I watched it a second time. No, it can happen. It can happen. I will.
There's a lot of
I will
people
give
that
it
say
another
that
try.
actually, because I used to turn around and say, I'm sorry, but Once Upon a Time in the West is better than The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And there's so many people that split those two around and say, oh, 1 minute Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, the next one it's Once Upon a Time in the West. And I've heard so many people say it's boring, and I go, I haven't been bored once in that film. I still think it's brilliant.
Right.
But I can understand how some people would, because it is a talkie. It is a either very quiet film or a talkie. It's a lot of close-ups on faces with no dialogue, or there's a lot of dialogue, and then it's what are you talking about? It's about a woman setting herself up in a with the railway going past. That's pretty much it. Where The Good, the Bad, the Ugly is a totally different actiony type thing. So, I get it, but I still think Once Upon a Time in the West is better for me, anyway.
Sandy says, I am 62 and love Tron. Age is a feeble excuse. Haha. Oh, it's not an excuse. It's true. That's for me. I don't like it. It's not. Not
Actually, I've never heard you turn around. I will say this in your defense, Ian. You've never turned around and said it's an excuse. You've just said I don't like it.
Yeah,
I'm the one who's turned around and said, yeah, but it's like Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. You wouldn't turn around and say that that's bad, and yeah, it's the same thing, sort of thing. Like you go for a wardrobe and suddenly you're in a totally new land. This is a person that's blasted into an arcade machine.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's it. Just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me. Maybe I don't know why. I don't know why. It doesn't appeal to me.
Well, I told you. I said I think it's because of the language. You don't understand CPU, MC.
Maybe I don't.
RAM, ROM, all this sort of stuff. You'll be going, what? What the hell are you talking about? What's this?
Yeah. It's the way it is.
And then again, you got your head around Clockwork Orange. That's got a totally different language.
A Clockwork Orange, I love straight away. You see,
that's got a different language.
Yeah.
In fact, if you read the book, it's the only book I know that's got an index of new words at the back for you to understand it.
But Clockwork Orange, I know that's a film that divides people, but I like Clockwork Orange, yeah. And then James says, loved it when I watched it for a second. Oh no, that's the West one. Sorry about that. Hey Sandy, hope you're well this week. Rocket Bunny says, Rocket Bunny, the best thing about Aries is its reference to the original film. I did quite like the hints at the end. No spoilers.
Oh yeah. Tron Aries, yeah.
And then Sandy, hi Rocket Bunny, hope you're well. And then Rocket Bunny, Fantasia transfixed me as a kid. Wonderful animation and music. You see, there you are. Rest my case.
Well, I talked about Fantasia. Didn't
I? Beautiful. Absolutely different. David says, hello, David. Good evening, Ian and Del. What's your favorite Star Wars movie and TV series?
Well, film, I would probably still say The Empire Strikes Back for me, but I don't know. TV series. Ooh. I'd have to come back on that one. What's yours?
Mine is the first film, though I do like.
Which
I
is
like
really
them
the
all.
which is really the fourth film.
Yeah, I like the. But I don't mind the prequels. They're not brilliant, but they're better than some other stuff that we've seen.
I tell you what, I've grown to sort of like say the Phantom Menace gets a bad rep, and it's not as bad as what everybody.
It's not as bad.
But I still turn around and say I am pulled away and I am lost when it's Jar Jar Binks. I'm sorry, I do not like that character.
Everybody says that. Yeah,
awful
it's
character.
True, yeah. It's the downfall of the film. But if I try and put that aside, it's okay. It's okay. TV series. I didn't mind the Obi-Wan, where Ewan McGregor comes on and plays a younger version. I thought that was quite good. And Andor, I think the more I watched it, I wasn't as keen at first, but I can appreciate Andor a lot more. I think Andor is got a lot going for it. But some of the other stuff I'm just not really got into. But that's all I've got to say really on that, I think. Yeah. Tony York, yeah, Jack Hargreaves, that's the name, yeah. Jack Hargreaves. Sandy says, yeah. Out of Town, superb series, Sandy says. He had a program after How called Out of Town. That's it, Tony.
Yeah, well, it's set around Leeds, isn't it?
Like Sandy.
It's set in your back garden, isn't it?
Oh, God. Laugh out loud, yes. And then Rocket Bunny says, Old Country. And the theme music is another one engraved in my childhood soul. I actually watched a few episodes on YouTube last year. They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah, it's a mandolin, isn't it? The tune, yeah. Played on a mandolin, isn't it?
Oh, and then Sandy says, if the orange-faced kiddie fiddler moved on Greenland, oh yeah, I think Europe as a whole would send a force there to defend it. Well, Denmark have been saying that, and they may well. Who knows? Kiddie fiddler, yes. Mr. Epstein's friend. Yeah. No offense intended, but I'm not sure Ian would be able to use a 3D printer. There's a lot of settings and things to set up. You're probably right, Sandy. I probably would.
However,
I'm not offended by it at all.
No, however, the new 3D printers have got automatic setup.
Oh, so I could just press a button and it'd set up. Oh,
as long as you know how to, if you can open up a file in a word processor, you'd probably be able to 3D print.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say it's that easy, but I'd say it's
doable, maybe.
I would say it's doable.
Yeah. And then Rocket Bunny, pottery take me back to my secondary school days, going from primary school with no facilities to a school which had potter's wheels, woodwork workshops, etc. I just stepped into a larger world. That's great that a school had all those facilities.
Well, we had I said, we had a pottery class. So
yeah. Really good to have.
We had a pottery. We had a metal workshop, a pottery shop, and we had a woodworking shop. And I was in all three of them.
Oh, that was good. Yeah. And then Rocket Bunny, isn't Ponder a whiz with 3D printing? He does some great stuff with his printer, if I remember rightly. Oh, that's good. And then Sandy, my son has one, and I've seen him use it, but the software is very complex and not something that is one button and go. Much messing about and adjusting settings, etc. Oh,
Yeah,
that didn't sound- yeah.
all I'm saying about it is there is no offense taken. I'm just saying they're getting easier and easier. You still have
Yeah.
to you still got to put the plastic into it and know about filaments and set it to temperature.
Yeah.
And what I am saying is, before you had to do some of the software is now actually on the actual device itself, where you don't even have to actually install it on a printer.
Oh.
It will actually connect to your Wi-Fi, and you can download stuff.
Oh.
What I'm trying to get at is they are getting easier, and I would say in a couple of years you'd probably be able to do it.
Yeah.
I think I take it like this. You have received emails from me with file attachments of films that you've managed to download, and then you've been able to put them on a USB stick and watch them on your TV.
I can do that. Yeah.
Now, if you can do that,
I can manage that.
you're not that far away from the basic understanding.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Jamie says the animated 3D printed video, if it doesn't get deleted. Right. So look at that then. Yeah, it got deleted. No, that wasn't good then. What's deleted? Hello, Tony. Yeah. And then Ian and Delboy, I'll send you the link on Instagram, Discord. Everyone else, go check Corridor Crew out. It's a really good channel about special effects in movies.
But thank you in advance to Jamie for sending me a link, because I don't get that many. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Right. And then Tony says, I used to collect, gollies. I'll call them gollies. That's all right.
Yeah.
From Robertson's Preserves as a child. Think you had to send labels in as proof of
purchase. You did.
I remember doing it.
My nan collected them. They used to be in different poses. They had ones with footballs and rugby balls, and they used to do them around World Cup time and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. They're still actually. I know I'm on it again, but they are very collectible. If you go to these fairs and places, people are still collecting those, and some of them again are quite valuable. Like any collector's things. And then Tony says, I used to collect them too. Sandy says
it is a world gone mad, because I mean, if I remember rightly, Captain Scarlet was banned off of TV for a long time because there was a Colonel White and a Captain Black.
Yeah.
And I just go, this is getting ridiculous now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I mean, are we going to ban newspapers because they're printed in black
and white? Yeah.
Fake?
Yeah.
What is it with this color?
Are they going to change Blackpool's name to Pool? But you can't, because there's already a place called Pool. You can't have Blackpool.
Yeah, I know.
Gets daft as brushes. So the MTV ended with the same video they started. I thought that was great. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. And then Tony says, don't have them any longer. Maybe just as well. Could be in an offense these days. Yeah. I've actually got one upstairs, quite a big one. It was my wife's. And then MTV made music visual, if you get what I mean. And then MTV VH1 were on 24/7 in our shared house in the 90s before internet. And YouTube was the place to go for music videos. Nowadays, one could argue if even music videos have a place anymore. I suppose you can say that YouTube now is the place to come and look at videos of music. If you put in probably all of your favorite artists, if they've done any videos, there's a very good chance you'll find them on YouTube. I've done that. YouTube is now the number one. It is the number one. It's the place to go.
After MTV started to fade off, I started to watch Top of the Pops too all the time.
Yeah, there's all that. Yeah.
because they used to show that either the band's actually physically playing on top of the pops, or they'd show videos that were made up for the show when there was no such thing as a video.
Yeah.
like ABBA and all of that sort of stuff.
And of course it was Queen that led the way because they did
Bohemian Rhapsody, with all the video. And of course, Kenny, this then brings you into Kenny Everett and his video show and all of the special effects.
Yeah. And then they're going to say, no, not the Buggles. Oh no,
yeah. Video killed,
yeah. It says TikTok and YouTube Shorts are the only thing kids are interested in now. I think you're right. The tension ban. Take the fifth, Ian. All right.
Yeah. You know, when they say plead the fifth or warriors, you know, like it's one of those things where you know, you're turning around and saying I swear on the Fifth Amendment.
The Fifth
might
Amendment
incriminate me. Might incriminate me.
Yeah.
If I was to answer that, it might incriminate me, so I'm gonna swear on the Fifth.
Yeah, they do. I've seen that at Fifth Amendment. Here people say no comment, no comment, no comment. Right. And then Rocket Bunny, no, The Tiger is a film on Amazon now. Laugh out loud. I was talking about the vehicle they used in the film to represent a tiger, which was a Russian T-55 tank made to look like a tiger tank.
Right.
However, they had to CGI the wheels as they have a complex overlapping design on the real thing. And what is it carried on here? Something they did not do on the Tiger mock-ups on Saving Private Ryan.
I have to turn around and say that when I was watching the documentary of the World of War, they did a whole section on tanks in World of War.
Oh, right.
You know the documentary World of War.
Yeah.
And then when they would with that whole segmented parts thing, I think they did one on battleships. They did it on tanks. They did it on aircraft. I think the tanks some of them were made specifically for that war, weren't they? And some of them were bought from other countries and brought in and all sorts. So, yeah, makes sense. Next.
I'm just looking at any more that I might have just missed. Sai says MTV made music visual, if you get what I mean. Yeah. And then MTV version 124. Oh yeah, sorry, you've done that one. So look here.
He was talking about tank.
Here we are. Muckman says Rocket. I'm assuming you've seen Fury, and Sai says, have you seen Best Defense, Rocket Bunny? Rocket Bunny, Fury, yes. Best Defense, not sure. Let me have a quick look, and then you'll hate me for it. Oh dear. Oh dear, that is an interesting recommendation there, Sai. Yeah, but I've added it to my watch list anyway. Cheers. And then Sai says, it's bad, Rocket Bunny. Don't put yourself through the agony. Oh dear. He says, too late. I'm sure. And then we've got Rocket Bunny saying, oh yes, seen a recent video of Clint Eastwood. Unless it's AI, can't trust anything these days. I know what you mean. Yeah, he looks very frail at 96, and no way he'll do anything again.
I'm just glad I met him. So
yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure you are. It's one of those moments. And then Sai says, with the talk of sequels, who's excited for Godzilla minus zero? I know that I am. I don't know.
I am, but after what's happened to me this week, Godzilla's far from my mind.
Right.
I told Ian about it. I may talk about it in my blog. I don't know.
Yeah. And then I'd give As Good As I Get, Del, mate. There you are. Rock Bunny. Relevant to our conversation today, essentially, Tron Ares is about a giant 3D
printer.
printer. And then Jamie says, by the way, Rogue Trooper is directed by David Bowie's son, Duncan James, yes, who directed Moon, which is absolutely brilliant. Moon, I love Moon. Source Code, yeah, and Warcraft. Oh, I've seen Warcraft.
I've got Moon and Source Code. I've seen Warcraft.
Moon is a very.
I didn't really get on with Warcraft.
Oh yeah, I like Moon. And then off in there. So it says, Muckman, don't you mean Zoe Bowie? Yeah, he was at
Zoe Bowie.
Yeah. Rocket Boy, David Warner fans, I highly recommend his Big Finish audio contributions. He is amazing as Steel in Sapphire and Steel, brilliant. And as the Doctor in the Doctor Who Unbound story, Sympathy for the Devil. There's some great of those Big Finish things, but I've never.
Yeah, I've got a lot of them. I stopped at a certain point.
Yeah,
I couldn't keep up with it all.
And the latter, even as Courtney as the Brigadier, and David Tennant before he played the Doctor himself. Really? Oh,
Perry. You know, Nicola Bryant, she actually wrote and directed David Tennant in a story about Unit called Unit.
Oh, yeah, those Unit ones.
I can't remember what it's called. It's called Unit.
It's anyhow. Jamie says it's getting late. I'll take this opportunity to say good night, all. Good night, Jamie. Even though you'll probably see it again, you're not here now. Have a good sleep and thank you for being here. Thank you. Night Muckman says, Sandy, you still have to download the third print file. The 3D
print file.
Put it through software to slice it before it starts printing.
That's what I was saying. I think certain 3D printers that are higher up, you can actually download the 3D print file to the printed devices.
Tony says, night, Jamie, and Rocket Bunny. Good night, Muckman.
Night, Muckman.
Good
little bastard.
Yeah. Rocket Money, final random film tank fact. Did you know some surprisingly accurate Tiger tank mock-ups in classic film from 1977?
1970s.
Here we go. Kelly's Heroes, of course. Yeah.
One of my. That was on the other night.
Yeah.
No, it was on. Was it on Sunday? Sunday.
I wonder if Si saw that. He says I watched that the other day. Si says.
Yeah, it was on Sunday.
Yeah, and then we're the last comment, and we've got Tony saying good night all, and thank you, Tony, as always.
Don't give him the last words. He's a bastard. Oh.
You keep putting it out. We've got another comment, and then we've got here. So
now that's a much better final answer.
Thanks for great movie chat, and thanks to Ian and Delboy for tonight's entertainment, and a special hello to Mrs. Dell. Oh,
thank you so much, Si. That's a much better answer. Not that Tony York git. Hold on.
Anyhow, thank you, everyone who's been with us tonight, and there's still 9 people. And thank you, everybody that's made a contribution, whether you're just watching, or putting comments down. We always love to have your comments. And that's it. And thank you. I've got one Rocket Bunny saying, okay, thanks for another great evening's chat. Take care, you old codgers. Have a great rest of your week. To those in chat also. Brilliant.
See you.
Thank you. See ya. So we'll give our farewells as we normally do.
Oh, well, we do. We always do the two runners, don't we? And it's good night from.
And it's good night from him.
Good night. But I always do my one, which is salute, because it's from Frankie Howard, and I love Pompeii.
And I always say, I'll see thee again.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so much.